These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
You're toxic, I'm slipping under with a taste of a poison paradise. I'm addicted to you, don't you know that you're toxic?
These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. It's America's barley basket.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of America's Barley Basket. I'm your host, Marlon Wells, alongside host Nathan Fulsabach. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlon.
How are you?
Oh, just laid out on your couch, just showing off. What would you call what I'm showing off here flesh-wise? Is that mid-shin?
Yeah, whatever that, like, between ankle and calf, but it's on the side. Like, it's not cankle. It's whatever's on the inside of the leg.
Yeah,
it's pale is what it is.
Very
That's
pale.
what I would call it.
Yeah, it's very pale.
Also, how tight are the cuffs on them sweatpants?
I fucking made the mistake when I didn't. I just looked at the price tag. And, these are a little bit cheaper. I didn't realize the reason they're cheaper is because they're the bullshit cuffed sweats, and they're not. I need flowing loose, baby,
and not a wide cuff. Like I have some sweatpants that have like a wide. It doesn't work for audio, but like a 2-inch thick.
Oh, interesting.
Of elastic.
Oh no, this is like a 1/2 inch of elastic. Yeah, that's a tight butthole.
That looks like the drawstring in a pair of basketball shorts.
Yeah,
that looks painful.
Oh no, I mean my legs are probably numb.
That's also a problem.
Yeah. Hey man, makes these sweats okay. Makes these sweats livable. Doc, my toes are falling off, but my sweatpants have never been more comfortable.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good. I like those Under Armour socks.
Thank you. I do have fresh sweats waiting for me. I had them delivered at home. So it's like sometimes you got to get yourself a Christmas treat, Marlon.
I don't know how hot a take this is going to be. I own 2 pairs. I am not a sweatpants fan.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Not a fan. Don't like them.
I'm more of a basketball short guy.
Yep, likewise.
But I don't know. You get a pair of just plain black or navy blue sweatpants, you can wear them in a semi-formal function.
No, you can't.
I think you can.
I won't go. I will wear sweatpants out if I don't have to go in anywhere.
Oh, what about basketball shorts?
No. Also, no.
You wouldn't wear basketball shorts to the movies?
Fuck no. In public?
That's insane.
Mm-mm. Like,
and I'm not talking like you think you're going to get laid. Let's say just with some bros.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear basketball shorts.
That is fucking crazy. No. I have friends that haven't worn pants with a button since 1997.
Like, let's say...
They have families. It's possible to be functioning.
Like, let's say I don't smoke, but let's say I had to run down to the gas station down the street for some cigarettes. I would put on a proper pant.
That is wild.
So.
No shit.
I would do it in sweatpants 1 out of 5 times. But if it's summer and I'm lounging around here in my basketball shorts and I need some ciggies, which again I don't smoke, but it's a good
it helps move the narrative.
Example. Yep. And I'm sitting around in basketball shorts and it's summer and I just got to run down the street. I'm going to put proper shorts on.
Insane. I mean, you're living more normal. That's not normal, but you're just living at a higher level. But I'm going to tell you something. If you would have told me, yeah, man, from March till November, I'm always wearing basketball shorts everywhere. Okay. Because that's how little anyone else pays attention.
Year round, I am always wearing basketball shorts inside this apartment.
Okay.
Always. And that is my preferred loungewear. You've seen me in sweatpants fairly recently, but that was like not the norm. You know, like I'll throw them on in the winter, but my thing with sweatpants is I am so very rarely cold that I don't require a sweatpant.
It's in Centipede Dungeon. Get cold enough that a guy needs a full pant every once in a while. But I get you. If I live in a normal place, it's short basketball shorts are fine. But like back when you had a 9 to 5, you get done with work, you got pants on. You can't just be fucking wearing basketball shorts like you're fucking. I couldn't think of a proper analogy there. But so when you come home, you drop trout, put some basketball shorts on.
Immediately.
Interesting.
Yep.
Don't just wear underwear, just lounge around. If you're home alone in your underpants?
No, because I find myself missing the pockets.
Interesting. See, I am kind of that way with the pockets, but for me, it's having a shirt. I like having a breast pocket.
I'm the same way.
But I don't.
I'm a breast pocket boy.
Yep. No, like I immediately like. I know I'm not even usually immediately take my pants off when I get home type of guy, unless back when I still was mobile and I worked manual labor work. It was hot out, pants off in the entryway.
Oh man, if I were working a 9 to 5 and come home at 5, like kick off the shoes at the door, those pants are unbuckled and around my ankles, 20 feet late. I don't even break stride and I'm losing them.
I got a lot of friends that are like, I had a friend that just noticed that. He's like, you just wear your jeans when you're at home? I'm like, yeah, man, until it's bedtime. You know?
So just the other day, like I had to go out and do something. So I was wearing proper pants and then I was
Peepees.
and then I was going to be going out later in the evening.
Dress slacks.
I wasn't sure. I had to sit here and be like, do I take these off and
really?
lounge in my basketball shorts and then put them back on to go to the thing I have to go to this evening, or do I just stay dressed?
Okay, yeah.
And I chose stay dressed and felt weird the whole time. I was like, you're not supposed to wear a belt on your couch. This is America. What is happening?
So basketball shorts are worn when it's just a fuck you day. Like when I wake up, I ain't got to do nothing. Mm-hmm. I ain't putting pants. I'll just
even if you go out.
I mean, we got to define going out.
Okay, you got to run to the grocery store.
Shorts.
Basketball shorts.
Basketball shorts.
Really?
Yep. Especially now that I have good ones with pockets. Mm-hmm. Because like I used to be fucking buy trash that didn't have pockets. That's no way to live. But now that I have some pockets, basketball shorts to shop. I mean, it sucks because there is a chance you can lose your wallet with basketball shorts. I don't like that. But
you often get a shallow pocket with a basketball short.
And go to the movies with friends.
Basketball shorts?
Basketball shorts.
Fucking
yeah.
Wow.
Or sweatpants. Not even a thought. If I wasn't fat, fucking basketball shorts to a wedding.
Sure. Yeah. If I weighed 140 pounds, I would wear basketball shorts everywhere.
Would fucking be such a pig. There's a pressure when you're fat to have good hygiene because people assume you're going to be a bore.
Yep. Which is why I don't wear basketball shorts anywhere. Yeah. It is absolutely a self-consciousness.
Oh, in my 20s, I wouldn't wear basketball shorts like that.
You've given up.
Yep. Exactly. Okay, gotcha. I've given up on social constructs. Like, I don't think there's a woman out there that's like, oh man, if that guy was wearing jeans, I'd fuck him tonight. Like,
but too bad he's got these Adidas.
Look at that! His fucking the butts on the back of his thighs. He's got back of thigh titties,
those bonus thigh butts.
If a woman says they like guys with butts, they don't mean it because I got like 11 butts. You just
pick a butt.
You can like push me together in spots and make butts. There's Bill the Bear. I'm gonna build a butt workshop. This is all the butts. Look, I'll make a butt right now.
Holy shit! That's a new piece of merch for you. Pick a butt, ladies. Yeah.
I can make fucking stem to stern if you give me.
You are the opposite of Rick Rude. The photo negative. You are the Atlantic City sweat hugs that he was talking to.
I think it would help if I was like really short too. Because I actually just watched Rick Rude fight today.
Perfect.
He was Clash of the Champions in '93 against Road Warrior Hawk.
Okay, right on.
I was like, fucking Rick Rude's taller than I thought he was.
Oh yeah, Rick Rude is such an under-celebrated hero of professional wrestling. It is amazing how quickly this can turn into a wrestling.
Right? Oh yeah, it's like it's
we
always
are always on the razor's edge.
There's always a bell ready to be rung.
Yeah,
just in the distance.
Yeah, like we are always at this weird tipping point of being a wrestling.
Who's your favorite Bushwhacker? Let me tell you.
Here we go.
Who was the other one besides Luke?
Butch and Luke.
Yeah. So when we probably already had this discussion, but when I was a kid, the Bushwhackers were the sheep herders, and they were these maniacal monsters that would fucking they were the scariest tag team or whatever, wherever they were fighting.
Goofballs.
And then, WWE decided, let's just make them goofballs, which for them, it was like, I don't have to bleed every night. You know?
I'm sure they loved it.
Yeah.
They were New Zealanders?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Kiwis.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that's a term you can use?
I think so. I think I've heard What's His Nuts from Flight of the Conchords say it, so I'm going to say it.
But maybe it's kind of like...
I doubt that's their N-word.
You beat me to it.
Maybe.
Well, it's something like Kiwis, all of a sudden you're just getting pistol whipped in a
fucking stomped in an alley.
holding your cookie you're going to get with your Sammy.
Getting fucking knifed outside an artisanal mac and cheese shop in New Zealand. I just wanted to see the hobbits.
And they tell everyone what you said, and they're, oh, that's cool. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, they walk away, yeah.
I didn't know. Wearing a styrofoam hat shaped like New Zealand. Just enjoying your interesting
Clearly
culture.
A big fan and really happy to be here.
Wearing like a Lord of the Rings wraparound bowling shirt.
An all-over print of Bilbo Baggins. Oh, fuck.
This is not how I expected this trip to go.
It is fucking cold in here. I don't know. You're sitting by the door. So I have a drafty door, which I'm sure you can tell because you're sitting closest to the door.
You've mentioned it a couple times.
I think it's because you have your feet up. I have my feet on the floor and they're bare. I have a fucking drafty door. I need to call my apartment complex, tell them to fix this fucking door because it is fucking wind chill of -18 right now.
It's chilly out there.
I just checked on this.
I even thought maybe it was colder than that even. I know this Saturday in my hometown, which I'm going to because I haven't made it back for Christmas yet, the wind chill is expected to get to -50.
Yeah,
50.
Same tomorrow where I'm telling jokes. I looked it up, -48 wind chill.
That's fun.
North Dakota.
That's fun. You know,
big fan.
Right?
Everyone should move here.
Makes you just happy to be alive.
Yeah.
Or sad.
Yeah, it's cold and there's nothing but white folks. Come on out.
So you know what else is a creative entity?
Okay.
The Simpsons.
That's what I was like, find the segue, Nathan.
Yeah,
you can do it.
I don't know if it was there, but we are
creative entity.
Which it is.
It is. It is an intellectual property.
It is. We're in season 19. We cracked the seal.
Just barely.
2
Got a
weeks
little
back.
taste. Yeah.
Yep.
And then we did the movie last week, and now we're back to a normal episode because we're drinking Miller Lite instead of old fashions.
Instead of fancy cocktails.
Do you want a cherry? You want to put
yeah.
fucking thumb a cherry through the mouth hole of a Miller Lite pounder?
Our numbers are up so much after hearing me tongue box that mixed drink.
Oh, that was. I went back and listened. That was real graphic.
Yeah. The ladies love it.
That's not what I said.
The ladies unsubscribed.
Ladies are concerned.
Our prison numbers through the roof.
Nathan Folsenbach quoted as saying, "Yeah, I eat the whole ass."
Yeah. Again, big hit in the prison system. Supermax, especially. No Way Out.
Now you're just naming WWE pay-per-views.
In your house.
You're so old. All right. Season 19.
Episode 2. The Homer of Seville. We get that real involved Homer evolution couch gag again.
I have written here the very first note. We got the full intro, non-truncated intro sequence, and the evolution couch gag. I have noted here. Boy, I bet they are stretching for time on this episode.
I say that when they do it that way, that's 15% of their airtime.
Yep. Like when they do the full intro and that evolution couch gag, I'm like, stretching for content here, were you?
Yeah.
And that is confirmed a few other times in this episode.
Right. So Homer injures his back while falling into an open grave after the family crashes a funeral for free food, which, boy, that's a level of...
That's a dirtbag move.
Yep, right. Yep. Like, weddings, I don't know. That's more cheeky and fun. It still might be inconvenient for the people planning it, but hey, all's well that ends well. Everyone's in a good mood, but a funeral...
I've never crashed a wedding or a funeral, I don't think.
I mean, I've crashed as much as you do in a small town and you're 16 and there's nothing else going on. It's like... There's a wedding dance. Just people go to a wedding dance. Fucking.
They don't believe in love where I come from, so there are no weddings.
It's all just done mail order. Like, well, we got the papers back. The governor has affirmed that we are a fucking corporate union now.
It's Yeah, I've never crashed anything, much less for the food, because as we talked about a few weeks ago, that is a food situation that makes me uncomfortable.
Oh,
that like go through the line and take food thing.
Yeah, don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they have enough of the trash that I like to eat, so I'm all about it. But I'm a little self-conscious, but I see where you're coming from, but I'll still indulge.
I would have went and stood in line at one of the many places they drive past in this sequence.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine standing in line with a church brunch crowd.
Oh, yeah, because like they're going at that wrong time of day, like 11-ish.
After church.
Yeah. Any community.
Try to eat anywhere at 11 on a Sunday.
I bet like even your most leftist California hipster neighborhood, it's tough to find a place to sit on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Church or no church.
Yep.
So this freak accident, Homer messing and this is kind of his. I don't know if it really messes anything up in particular. Just that's a rough fall. That's
falling into a cold grave.
And I do like Bart just beginning to bury him.
Shovels.
Yeah. He's the man of the house. You can't live in the past.
Moving on.
So this accident gives Homer an amazing singing voice while only on his back.
Which, you think that's a real thing, or you think the Simpsons made that up?
Simpsons made that up.
Think so? Okay.
Think so, yeah.
Because Lisa even mentions, like, no, is it Pavarotti or somebody? She mentions an opera singer. Like, he actually recorded a whole album on his back.
I thought you meant that falling could be a good singing voice.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's...
I mean, that seems made up. Yes.
But maybe lying on your back, especially if you're like... It's opera where it's super technical and nerdy. That maybe
If I like unfocus my eyes and look at the medicine, I can believe it.
Yeah.
If you told me like, your guts lay better and your diaphragm is good.
I'm with you on that. I think there could be something to that.
Yep.
And I think it's Burns overhears him singing at the hospital
while he's organ shopping.
Like he's at the mall.
Yeah, he's just like, I want that guy's liver. Yeah. I'll take a dozen Adam's apples. Fucking Smithers has a line here. He says, the money you've contributed to anti-helmet laws is really paying off. That's such a fucking good joke.
That's a very good joke. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Because who died in those accidents? Young men with the rest of their organs are still fresh as a daisy. So Burns overhears him, and he just, because Burns, he's a man of taste. He loves it, and he decides he's going to turn Homer into an opera singer, which he does.
Yeah.
Homer becomes the toast of the Springfield cultural elite.
Huge star.
Yeah. Which, I mean, because again, they've wasted 15% of the time. It gets cooking quick. All of a sudden, he is an opera star.
Yep.
He has an entourage, which consists of Lenny and Carl. They're like his hangers-on.
So good.
And then they even get the music from Entourage. You ever get an Entourage?
I missed that.
Yep.
I've seen the first 3 or 4 seasons.
Oh, that much of it. I've seen a handful of episodes. It was a show I assumed I wouldn't like, but I enjoyed it.
It was perfectly fine, empty calorie television.
It's probably the male equivalent of Sex and the City.
Yes.
It captures male friendship well, as I'm sure Sex and the City captures female friendship well.
Yeah, I think plenty of people drew that comparison directly even at the time.
Really?
Like,
interesting.
It's Sex and the City for dudes. Yeah. And like, I like enough of the showbiz jokes that were in there, like, what's his nuts got casted to be Aquaman, the worst superhero. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
good point. I like the behind the scenes of the, how Hollywood works.
Yeah, there was enough fun stuff in there for me to be like, okay. But I did fall off it eventually at some point.
So Homer, now newfound celebrity, still tries to maintain kind of a normal life because, fucking still got to go home to Marge. Marge is still a normal lady. And him and Marge, they have I think it's an anniversary date. They're trying to have like a nice night out, like couples do. Where Homer, gets cornered by a bunch of angry elderly fans, which I enjoy.
Yeah, I like that his opera groupies are all in their 70s
and up. And just as he's getting cornered, he is saved by a motorcycle riding female fan who ends up blackmailing him into becoming his manager. Which spoiler alert, not a big fan of this episode.
Likewise.
I did enjoy like Marge going to get them snacks and that woman just calmly undressing him, like, you can have me whenever you want, but if you tell your wife, like, I'll turn it against you.
Yeah.
Because right, he goes, Marge. It was like, we're just sitting in here with all of our clothes on.
Yeah.
She's like, that's nice.
That's nice.
Doesn't even think twice.
So
like,
good.
Just busy putting some finger foods together for him.
I loved that joke. That was one of few pretty bright spots in this episode.
So mission accomplished. She becomes his manager, and she kind of does an all right job at that part of it.
Part of it, but she is off her tits.
Yep.
She's out of her mind.
She's obsessed with Homer. And finally, he does fire her because she just won't quit coming on to him and say what you want about Homer. Pretty faithful husband. So what is the next logical step in her head? Oh, I gotta fucking ice this guy. You know, like,
now she's trying to kill Homer.
So we get kind of like, then we get a few like sight gags of her attempting to kill him, and then it all kind of culminates at like the next big opera.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
Where they're doing Barber of Seville.
Yeah. Ooh, ties in with the title.
Oh, you see that? I only know Barber of Seville thanks to Bugs Bunny.
Oh yeah, you're right. God, that's a good fucking Bugs Bunny, man.
Yeah, it is. That might be my favorite Bugs Bunny sketch.
Oh God, yeah.
Episode, whatever you want to call it.
I think comedy often ages like bread, but fucking Looney Tunes, some of that shit's 75 years old now.
And will still make me laugh.
Yep.
The Looney Tunes are timeless.
Yep. And yeah, compared to almost anything else, even other animated shit doesn't hold up like Looney Tunes does.
Disney of that era doesn't.
Yep.
Hanna-Barbera later on doesn't.
Not a bit.
Super doesn't.
Yep.
Because they cut so many fucking corners.
As a kid, I didn't even really like much Hanna-Barbera shit.
I liked enough of it, but most of my Hanna-Barbera love comes from like Adult Swim. Most of my Hanna-Barbera love comes from Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law.
And they do use a lot of characters to very good comedic effect on that.
Yeah. I forget what it's called or where I found it, but I'm sure you could find it if you searched for Yogi Bear's collar. There's a great video essay about how putting a collar on Yogi Bear like changed the world of animation, because then if he's looking left and he needs to look right, you can just animate the head and not the whole body.
Oh.
And that cuts your fucking animation cost by like 80%.
Interesting.
And that's all it took to make Hanna-Barbera a huge money-making company.
Interesting. So just the rest of the body can stay the same.
Yep, that can stay static. You don't have to animate that at all. Now you're just working with the head, and that's why Yogi Bear has a collar and tie on.
Interesting.
Someone realized that, and Hanna-Barbera was off to the races and became this hugely profitable company.
Now that I think about it, almost all of those characters have like
a collar
or a tie.
Sort.
A lot of ties on those animals.
Yeah.
A lot of dressing up, I guess.
And it's all corner cutting to make more money.
Well, good for them, I guess.
Yeah, they figured out that and the repeating background, and they never looked back.
You think, are either Hanna or Barbera still alive?
Oh, I'd be surprised.
I know one of them lived to be a ripe old age, but
good for him.
But yeah, God, they'd be old, man.
They'd be real old by this point.
So the show must go on. Homer is, God damn it, he's nothing if not a showman. So, and everyone's on edge because they know that the stalker's going to attempt to kill him. So the whole family's there up in one of those little balcony things you always see in the opera,
Yeah.
Marge has got the little binoculars on a stick, which is also
I also am a huge fan of.
Another opera thing. And she's looking around like, well, where could the killer be? Turns out the killer is posing as the conductor, and she attempts to kill Homer with a blow dart. Got a few decent gags with the blow dart, like a couple failures, nothing.
Yeah, nothing huge, no.
And just when it looks like it's all over for Homer, who saves the day? Marge. As one can expect.
Dives in there with a French horn.
Yeah. Shoots it back, yep. And, man, all's well that ends well. Boy, this episode.
I mean, like, Julia swears revenge and gets hauled away.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. She's still coherent at the end. Yeah,
there's that bit, and this is one of I don't think I noted any of the other ones, but there's the bit earlier with Placido Domingo voicing himself in the locker room, and then there's this bit at the end where the snipers are shooting at her as she lays as she lays on the ground. And both of those are bits that go on way too long in an episode that they already had to do the full intro and the longest couch gag they have. They must have had nothing for this episode.
Just them like, oh shit, this is a 12-minute idea, gang. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, like I don't care for this episode as a whole, but you look at that, and I for sure missed at least one example of, boy, this joke goes on way too long.
Yep.
But it's like, boy, you had nothing for this episode. Like, all you had is Homer becomes an opera singer, and you guys tried to make that 22 minutes long.
Yeah. Think of that, because there's really no B story.
No, none.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you think of a simple B story?
Right? Or pull one from a different episode. Do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was not my favorite.
Real dud.
Yeah. Like, whatever. I wasn't, like, cursing at the television or anything.
Furious.
But I was certainly like, I could probably check Twitter. Yeah. I don't.
When I walked in, it didn't look like you'd been ugly crying earlier today over a poor Simpsons episode.
Well, we did start pretty late tonight, and I got that out of the way early this morning. You got to remember, I rise a little earlier than you do, so
you had time to put something to get rid of the bags under your eyes.
I've had more cry time.
Yeah. I had my cool down period.
my Kool-Aid period.
Yeah. Then I applied my what's the Hollywood secret for getting rid of bags under your eyes? Preparation H.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. Conan O'Brien, they'd have to slather that shit on his face because he's got bad under-eye baggage.
Well, I'm glad you told me, because my under-eye baggage is a motherfucker. I look like a fucking old man.
Booty hole cream will tighten them right up. You'll have.
I don't need it for my booty hole. My booty hole is pristine.
I mean, it's a cream meant for booty holes.
Yes, I'm aware. I was saying I don't need it for that, but I'll put it on my eyes.
We talk a little tough. I haven't got a good look at it in a while.
My asshole?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you're just going by touch. Can you tell the aesthetics of a butthole by touch? I think you need to.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Well, maybe,
You line up a dozen buttholes, and I'll blindfold touch every one of them and tell you all about them. I'll rank them.
Kind of doing like make a whistle like a glass. You got to check the dexterity of it.
You've seen people play the glasses, the crystal glasses. Yeah.
Ooh, that one's out of tune.
Oh, you go to the doctor.
Yeah. One of that starfish's arms is shorter than the other. You got to get your shit together.
This one's got teeth.
Yeah. But yeah. Will they get better? We will soon find out.
We will find out. I thought this episode was a real dud.
Yes, sir.
Let's see if it gets any better from here. Episode number 3 is Midnight Towboy. You ever seen Midnight Cowboy?
I have.
I have not. Mm-hmm. Should I?
I mean, especially in its day, it was an amazing, it was so grand. I mean, it's not like there's, P's and V's, but I mean, there's there's sex scenes which did not happen in 1969, and just the grittiness. But it's a good movie. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Not like change your life good anymore, I don't think. But yeah, now that I think about it, it's not a laugh a minute, as you probably assumed. But
it ain't fucking Anchorman.
You get to see a real young Dustin Hoffman and a real young John Voight.
Yeah. It's one of those I've always heard mentioned, like. A pretty solid blind spot in my movie history is the 1970s.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So there's some people that say that's the best decade of American cinema.
That's what I've always heard. Yeah. And there's a shit ton of it that I've never seen.
If I was to recommend any movie from the 70s, be The Conversation. It was the movie Francis Ford Coppola made between Godfather 1 and 2.
Okay.
It was like the movie he made them let him make it. If you want me to do another Godfather.
You want me to keep doing Godfathers? Yep. Yeah.
I'd say Gene Hackman's probably the only big name in it, but fuck me, is it good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I've been meaning to get around to some 70s shit because it's a pretty light... I haven't seen a ton.
Yeah, I've knocked out a lot of the big hit, but I mean, there's a ton of shit to check out from the 70s.
Like the first 2 70s movies I've seen where I'm like, oh, I've seen some 70s movies is like Straw Dogs and fucking The Warriors. And that's probably about it.
I think I've knocked out pretty much all of Scorsese's 70s output. Knocked out, I think, all of Francis Ford Coppola's. I mean, there's a fucking... And then, like, the Deer Hunter, that was a big 70s movie.
Which I've also never seen, yeah.
Good, but long.
I've always heard that's very good.
Yeah.
I get the reference when they do it on Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The headband and the revolver.
Yeah.
You want to play games?
Yeah.
Like, I get that. I know where that's from.
Yeah.
But
Again, not a date movie.
Yeah?
Yeah, not a date.
Not one to throw on at a party?
3.5 hour exercise of terror and sadness.
Yeah, I need to fill up that bit in my blind spot. Funny that we're speaking of Francis Ford Coppola. I have already started putting together next year's horror movie list, and I added Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula,
which I've never seen.
I've heard it's weird but good. Yeah. So. And boy, do I love weird but good.
And it was a big budget movie. I mean, young
Gary Keanu.
Winona Ryder was a star when that came out.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. Putting that fucking list together already.
Taking care of business. Look at you.
Mm-hmm. So, episode 3, Midnight Towboy. We get I think, new couch gag where
that was
they're made
my
of
question.
Lego.
Was the Lego couch gag new?
I think that was new, and that was cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I like stop motion stuff, and I like Legos. So I think that there needs to be, and maybe there is. I'm someone who doesn't want Lego, but I love to build Lego. I need a Lego sugar daddy who just wants completed sets and just wants me to build them.
So you would say, I want to build Lego. You wouldn't say, I want to build Legos, plural.
Correct.
Oh, see, when I was a kid, it was playing with Legos.
I would have probably said that when I was a kid.
But now the proper parlance is Lego.
Playing with Lego.
Oh, interesting.
Probably.
Really?
Maybe. It's probably either.
I don't want you to be self-conscious when you're running with your Lego circles.
Like this will be in there. This will come up in therapy next week for sure.
Stupid.
Am I saying it right?
My mom claims I liked Legos. I must have been so young I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I just remember there were a handful of Lego Flotsam and Jetsam at the bottom of the toy box. like that must have been something.
I had a bin, a Lego bin.
I never did, yeah.
I never had sets though. This is in this box is a spaceship.
Yeah.
I just had blocks. I just had loose Lego.
Yeah. I don't remember anyone having a spaceship or a fucking the USS Ticonderoga or something like that, building Civil War battleship.
It's not like it is now, where it's like you buy a set.
I remember having must have been a random gift because I never got into it enough to get more than one. But I had a Connectums toy where it was little 2 to 3 inch long gray rectangles with slots on each end, and they would connect to bright blue squares that all had a round flat disc, because that's what the knobs, the gray part snapped over those round knobs. Were they Connects? The Connects
Maybe Connects or Mechanics.
Yeah.
There were a handful of those.
What were the ones that from the 60s? I think my dad talked about either he had it and it was a big deal, or he knew a kid. It was an Erector set.
Erector set, yeah. I've heard of that. I've never seen them in the wild.
And they run off electricity, they have moving parts, but that shit was pretty tits in the 60s.
I had a cousin who it was pretty evident early on that he had an engineer brain, because you could give him a fucking 5-gallon pail full of just blocks and he could build you a functioning dump truck. Meanwhile, I'm over here trying to build a house.
You're over there, your mom's slapping the fly swatter so you quit eating Legos. No.
You get out of there.
But this one's red like cherries.
Those are not Jolly Ranchers for the last time.
Maybe if you chew on them longer.
You've eaten so many fucking Legos.
You just keep thinking of ways to rationalize your Lego.
Putting them in the toaster.
I bet you got to build them to look like food.
They're soft when they're warm.
It's holy shit, eating melted Legos. Mom, my teeth hurt again.
They're all gummed up, all stuck together.
You got you in the garage you're a dog that got into a porcupine. We've had this talk. And yet you're getting goddamn melted Legos into your braces and going to the orthodontist.
Trying to cut that shit out of there. I was at
curious boy.
I was at a Lego store for the first time a couple weeks ago, because there's stores that are just Legos now. When I was down in Alabama, we went to Nashville one day and went to a Lego store, and like it's all, sets. Here's the Titanic.
Yep.
Here's all the Harry Potter shit, the Star Wars stuff, yada yada. But there's also just huge bins like peanuts at a grocery store, where it's like, here's a bin of fucking blocks and a big metal scoop.
Pay by the pound.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's bonkers.
That's
I'd have lost my mind if I were a kid.
That's one thing you could have turned a nice penny on an investment. When I was a kid at a rummage sale, you could buy a pickup box trailer full of Legos for 50 cents because no one wanted loose Legos back then. Legos have always are covered in snot. Little kids have been chewing on them. Middle-aged boys are chewing on them. They're tasty. They're the forbidden fruit of the toy chest. So yeah, I was a kid. I don't want just loose Legos. No, but yeah, fuck. America does.
And Lego sets now are worth their weight in gold.
Yeah. Oh,
like
I bet,
you buy a set and don't open it and sell it 10 years down the road and retire.
The closest I never liked building shit as a kid. The closest I came to enjoying it would be you had to build your own G.I. Joe vehicles, if you remember that. They came in a kit and you built them.
Yeah, I missed G.I. Joe. They were gone by the time I showed up, but yeah, I've heard tell the tale of G.I. Joe and Castle Grayskull, like the big shit that needed some manner of assembly.
I wonder if Castle Grayskull, it probably did, but I was so little that my mom or dad had to do it because it was fucking...
I don't want Legos in my apartment, but I love building them.
Oh, if you had a shoebox full of Legos on your coffee table right now, I'd build something dumb.
Yeah, sure.
I'm like that with anything.
Build a monster truck that's just a square.
I'm pretty sure if you look at my kindergarten report card, in the notes, it is something about me always taking the things out of my pencil box and trying to make a spaceship and making like pew 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 noises to the point like I had to be talked to about that.
Pew pew pew.
And I can imagine 6-year-old Nathan thinking that Mrs. Robertson was going to come over to comment on how nice my spaceship was. I was probably the big smile, like, "Oh, do you want to play? This is pretty cool.
You want to play spaceships? I can make you one."
Yeah. You just got to get another glue thing. The glue is the fuselage.
She just wants you to learn your timetables so fucking bad.
It's okay if you don't learn, but you're stopping other kids from learning.
You can't draw in cursive. You can't do anything but pew pew pew. In the same vein, I love building furniture from a box. Like, I should just make a company that just builds shit for people. Like, I love nothing more than like insert slot A into dowel B with the instructions set out.
I can do it, but I don't look forward to it at all.
Really?
But
I love it.
I have friends that hate it because you know what they do? They just dump it all out and try to build it off the top. Yeah.
It's like, idiots, read the instructions.
Right, yeah. The instructions will lead you because they don't want you to come back with a pile of lumber and anger in your eyes.
Earlier this year had a friend who was bitching about a table that she couldn't put together, and I was like, I'm free this afternoon.
Yeah.
And I went to her apartment and built a thing.
Was it a chore or?
No. I was like, I get to build IKEA furniture.
But I mean, like, once you got started, was it easy? Or like, what was her issue?
Fine.
Just got frustrated probably?
Yeah, got frustrated. Yeah. Like, you just follow the directions.
Like on that, I think we maybe discussed this before. I hated models. The idea of models as a kid, it's like,
oh, really?
It's like, so I can't even play with this? I remember thinking that, like, I thought, you build a model. It's like, it's like a big G.I. Joe plane then, and I could fucking throw it in the yard. Like, no.
You could.
Yeah, it'll just shatter. Like,
yeah.
I was like, this is horse shit. Like, there's no movable parts. Like, no, it's just a model. Like, why would anyone want this? Like,
anyone who needs Legos or IKEA built, call me. I'll do it for $12 an hour.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I would enjoy models now, like when I'm more calmed down.
That seems like a child or old man thing. Mm-hmm. You know, I could see you getting deep into model trains. I could see you being
definitely
model train
way more than model. Because with like building a model boat or a model plane, you can't go off the plans too much. You get into model trade, you're building the whole world, baby.
Oh,
you got it.
It's generation remix.
Yeah, those tracks can go wherever you want. But that's still.
I could also see you being like, I don't want to fucking paint these trees.
Yeah.
Fuck this. They're all gray. Everything's gray. I just want the train to go.
And then, you know what? Also, I put that work in. You know what would happen next? Why are these things these colors? No things are these colors because I'm fucking colorblind. So it's like, well, that's what color shit is. No, it's not. This world doesn't make any sense.
I would love to see your colorblind world, Nathan. I would like
There's a romantic comedy out there.
All your shades of off blues and grays.
Show me what the trees look like, Nathan.
Oh, bless his heart. He thinks the sun is seafoam, and it's not at all.
Maybe looking in the sun's what caused all this.
All of his stop signs are chartreuse. He doesn't know any better.
Well, I've had some close calls on red lights before. Thinking yellows or reds, I just lock up the binders, almost kill the guy in the back seat, cause a 10-car pile up. Ooh, false alarm. Let's keep going. I had that. I could have kept going. That was yellow. Yeah, man, we saw it because our eyes work.
Everyone around you just thinks you're extremely cautious.
It's not fucking around. It's defensive driving.
I'm yielding.
Too far.
Oh, God. Haven't gotten into this episode yet.
Oh, boy.
Marge is with Maggie. Maggie is super clingy. She ends up breaking a milk bottle. This is, I don't know which is the A. This is the B story of Marge and clingy Maggie. The kids are like, well, certainly there's answers on the internet. And Marge says, oh, I don't want to bother the internet with my problems. Christ, that's so funny. Yeah. And if only more people had that mindset.
In an episode where this one and the one prior, we didn't get much laughs. Perhaps the funniest thing in this was her on the internet and the kids over her shoulders badgering her.
Holy shit.
Because I'm sure that was a thing.
Backseat driving.
Yep. And say, you just bought a freezer. And you just bought another freezer. Like, what links does she have open? Because she's one-click freezer purchase.
Because she was on the site of like, we'll come help give you guidance and counseling and make your baby not be so clingy and more independent. Yeah. And she clicks one thing and you bought another freezer.
That's so good.
So fucking funny. I love that, like, while they're both backseat driving and Marge is getting all flustered, finally she's like, well, fine, if you're so smart, you do it. Bart sits down and presses one key on the keyboard and it brings up on screen, are you having problems with a clingy baby? And just smiles at her, that fucking smirk. I thought that was very funny. Homer went out to get milk. There's no milk in town for whatever reason. We get boy, it's been a long time since we've gotten a reference to our namesake of Ogdenville, America's barley basket. Their billboard says milk free since '73, which is very funny. Homer ends up in a town called Guidopolis that is all Italians.
Where we get On the Dark Side by John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band playing.
Good song.
Which one of the more peculiar footnotes and one-hit wonderdom where they were the backing band of a fictional band called Eddie and the Cruisers.
Eddie and the Cruisers.
For a movie about a fake 1960s band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that around about what year that you figure that song
84,
came out?
85.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I always think of that song as being older than it actually is on the dark side.
That was one of the things critics said about it, is that it didn't fit the era, though, because the movie is supposed to take place in like 1963.
Yeah.
There wasn't music like that. And
No.
That's maybe a 70s song.
Yeah, like it has bits from that, the clapping and whatnot, like that all comes from that old-timey shit, but like...
I've seen John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band live before.
Really?
They played the Rock Fest in my hometown.
Now you're just bragging.
They played an early slot.
Did they play On the Dark Side more than once?
Yeah, I wonder if they did. I was very hungover, I'm sure.
A buddy of mine went and saw Stan Bush once, and he played You've Got the Touch twice.
That's great.
Opened and closed.
I wonder if either John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band played their hit twice, or who sang Georgia Satellite saying keep your hands to yourself. One of those two sang their one hit twice.
Awesome.
Which is, you know what? give the people what they want, I guess.
Keep Your Hands to Yourself's a fucking good song.
Yeah, they nailed it with that one.
Yeah, I'll stand by that song. I don't care much for that era of Southern rock. See also like the Fabulous Thunderbirds and
Tough Enough.
38 Special.
Oh, I don't mind.
Not
Special.
a fan.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but
Hold On Loosely. Don't let go.
no, I don't like it.
You squeeze too much.
I'm letting go.
You're gonna lose control.
Fuck a Molly Hatchet. I don't like. Yeah. Just weird fucking Scatman Crothers bit. Scatman Crothers bit in the middle of this fucking 80s Southern rock.
And there's like the B list, like Black Oak, Arkansas, and shit like that. There was fucking Southern rock was a thing.
There was a whole thing in the 80s. I'm pretty sure.
Late 70s into the 80s.
I'm pretty sure there was a Time Life collection of Southern rock from that era.
Absolutely was.
I remember that commercial.
That's why I know the intro to blah, 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 because I was in the
Flirting
commercial.
with Disaster. Yeah. I do not like that.
I don't know, Molly Hatchet, when their albums had like almost like late 70s, early 80s British metal type, like big paintings of knights with axes and dragons. They had a really weird like feel to like their look. Like it's like, I would have figured it'd be, them all jamming around a Confederate flag,
Yeah,
like
that's how I see Molly
not
Hatchet.
Prince Valiant fighting a 3-headed dragon. Yeah.
I didn't think Molly Hatchet would be so into Ivanhoe.
You don't want to judge these people. Like, I mean, what's a band of that era that I've late in life learned to love is Marshall Tucker Band.
Oh, yeah?
Marshall Tucker Band fucking slaps, bro.
Okay, I gotta give them some more listens, I guess.
Check out they're a band that their live show was the one to see. And they're one of those bands too, like they got in a fucking train accident or a fucking Zeppelin crash during one of their shows, like, and they lost a couple important guys early on. Like Toy Caldwell, fucking Toy, baller first name. That's some Southern shit there. Yeah. Grown man named Toy, fastest thumb in the South, because that's how he picked with just his thumb. Like who's the vocalist and guitar player for Fleetwood Mac? Lindsey Buckingham.
There you go.
The only two guys I know when you watch them play, it's all thumb. They're picking strictly with the thumb. So this is a Simpsons podcast. We are talking about Lindsey fucking Buckingham's guitar picking style.
Thanks, On the Dark Side. You're the one that got us here.
Yeah.
So Homer's in Guidopolis. He goes into the Mookie Mart, which I thought was funny because I'm never quite sure what Italian slurs are okay to use. So he goes in there. He's getting milk. I like this weird, stereotype Italian town next to Springfield. It's very strange.
Yep.
But while he's in there, he gets his car towed by this fella named Louie, who works for Louie's Towing, and there's this fucking long conversation. Homer's riding with Louie back to the impound. About Homer doesn't understand the concept of owning your own business and being your own boss. Louie's trying to explain, like, no, if I'm sick, I don't call anybody. What are you talking about? Homer, extremely envious of Louie's towing job. So Louie is like, hey, man, I'll sell you this old tow truck. He's got an old junker tow truck sitting there. Sells it to Homer for $500 with the caveat of you have to stay off my turf. So keep it in Springfield, and you can. I'll sell you this tow truck. So this is another now Homer's occupation here.
Yep.
Now Homer's a tow truck driver and loving it.
Yeah. As often goes with these storylines.
Yes.
He starts off like a ball of fire.
Yeah, and is other than ripping an axle off a car, he's pretty good at it.
Yeah, I do like during this montage we see Lenny get his car towed. His plates. Do you see that?
Oh yes, but I didn't jot it down. DUI man.
DUI guy.
DUI guy.
That's his thing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Lenny, you had a fucking drinking problem and a law breaking problem. What's the matter with you? I like during this sequence we get Bart skitching behind the fucking tow truck. He's holding onto the hook, riding the. I saw the confusion in your eyes. That's what that's called.
What did you call it?
Skitching.
We called it lollygagging. No. what do we call it?
Lollygagging.
I want to know. That's not the right word. For when
if you grab on the bumper of a car while you're on a skateboard.
Yeah,
skitching.
No, it definitely wasn't that where I came from. I have heard that described in many a word. It's always a regional thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I only know it as skitching because that's all I've ever heard it called, because the only time I've heard that thing given a name is in the Tony Hawk games. Oh. And that's what it is in Tony Hawk. So
you also see it's in Back to the Future 2 when he's holding on.
Well, it's in Back to the Future 1 also.
Oh, yeah. With the real skateboard.
Is the same
You're right.
scene.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we call it lollygagging, which makes sense because lollygagging is also just milling about, hanging,
loitering,
loafing.
Yep,
loafing.
Yep,
general loafing could be lollygagging.
Yep. And so Bart is skitch lollygagging on the back of the fucking tow truck, and Homer slams on the brakes, and Bart smashes his face into the back of the tow truck, and he lays there for a second like he's dead, and then they both laugh.
Yeah, that was good.
I enjoy that kind of shit with these two. We saw that in the movie too, of them messing with each other up on the roof. Like, I'm pretty into that. Meanwhile, over in the B story, Marge is getting some in-house guidance from this fucking new age weirdo about how to not coddle Maggie, and you got to give her independence. I believe in actual parenthood, this is called cry it out, where you just let the kid, especially overnights, like this is how you teach him to sleep through the night, is let him cry it out, I guess.
Got to get it out of him.
Yeah. I'm always crying it out, so I understand.
Kind of wondering when you're going to get out of that stage, but I don't want to rush you.
Thank you for letting me have my time.
He'll tire out. He'll fall asleep.
Pretty soon, just lightly snoring.
You go from crying to like deep REM sleep like that.
I don't think you have any proof that I snore at all. So I don't think that's real.
I have the scars to prove it.
I think I just lightly breathe like a regular person.
Just blowing a feather in the air right before it lands, you blow it back up. Maybe you toss the little dilly ball on your sleeping cap to the other side of your face.
Oh shit.
You snore like someone trying to learn how to drive a manual transmission. There's a lot of, you're not finding them, you're grinding them. You're gonna burn the clutch out. Oh, fuck, this split axle. Holy shit! That is steel on steel. That's
yeah. I've gotten complaints.
I ruined a marriage.
The neighbors, 2 floors up. It's apparently quite bad from what I've heard. It's probably going to kill me someday.
It's alarming. Yeah.
But get our laughs in now.
You're going to embrace the pap life. I'm to the point now it's like a Pavlovian response. I don't get tired until I put my pap on. And that convinces me. I feel the straps tighten. Daddy's ready for bed. You get a robot pumping fucking air into your mouth holes. Oof. That's living, brother.
Yeah. As soon as I get a strap on that pumps my mouth, I'll be fine.
Oh boy, you're gonna thank me later. So it needs to be the creep hanging outside the CPAP office. Nice. You got the one that covers the mouth and the nose. Going big air. I like it.
I'm here for a sleep study, sir. We'll call the police again. Don't.
Just scrambling out of there.
Homer at one point tries to tow Arnie Pie's helicopter while it's flying. That's fun.
Yeah.
And crashes, obviously. Homer's celebrating at the bar that he's got all this money, lays his money on the bar at Moe's. I think I would keep my money in my pocket at Moe's. I don't think I'd flash it around. No. I think you might get stabbed.
A lot of shadows in the back of Moe's.
Yeah. Dark corners.
Yep, very much so.
Frankly, the most dangerous one is Moe right there.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
He's got a shotgun.
Does riding in a helicopter appeal to you at all?
I would love to ride in a helicopter. I'd ride in a helicopter today.
Yeah, I would be... an airplane, it's cool, gets me places fast. I don't get an excitement. Maybe the first time I did, but a helicopter, because it's just like, it's so much more maneuverable, you know?
Yeah. And there's views, there's better views, you know, and it's fucking, an airplane is just a shitty bus.
Yeah.
Taking an airplane is like taking a bus, except we're guaranteed to die if something goes wrong.
Right, yeah. That's a good way to look at it. It's pragmatic, but not fun.
Exactly. Yeah. It's extremely utilitarian. Helicopter, I would ride a helicopter right now.
Yep. If it landed, I would clap like a little kid.
Yes, I would too. You can take helicopter rides in this town.
Oh, no shit.
You want to go take a helicopter ride?
Tonight?
No.
Oh, okay.
It is 10 o'clock.
I was wondering.
And it is negative 20 degrees outside.
This is the customer service of this helicopter ride. Him just in that tiny cockpit blowing on his hands. Oof.
Pilot's wiping sleep out of his eyes like, I guess, yeah, I'll drive.
$20 is $20.
So Homer's celebrating at the bar. He buys lobster drinks for everybody. And then tows Lenny.
Yeah, that's when we get the car. Yeah.
Poor Lenny. The town gets together at Moe's. They hate Homer.
Yeah, so as they would.
Yeah, they're mobbing up as they do. Meanwhile, back at home, Marge is so sad. Marge is devastated at Maggie's independence.
When she's rocking that sack of potatoes.
Oh, my God. It's so fucking funny. And I feel like we've done this exact story, but with Bart. Didn't Marge at one point in an earlier episode have a Bart doesn't need me anymore episode?
Totally.
Yep. And now we're doing it with Maggie, I guess. The town has a plan to get rid of Homer. They go park a car over in Guidopolis in a quick handmade handicap spot with a bunch of fake tickets on it, and then drop a sign over the Guidopolis sign that says "You're still in Springfield," which is very funny. And Homer's a dope, so he sees the car, thinks he's still in Springfield, goes to tow it. That's when Louie shows up and puts the fucking boots to him.
Yeah.
Because Louie said, don't be poaching in my neighborhood.
Only one rule.
You stay on your side of the fence. So Louie fucking clubs Homer, throws him in the basement with a handful of other tow truck drivers that he's done this to. And now back in Springfield, it is chaos without any manner of parking enforcement. Everyone's out of their minds.
They didn't realize they needed him.
Man, when that train comes tearing through town and that conductor gets out, or engineer, whoever drives a train, is like, I need camera batteries, and runs in and grabs them, gets in and takes off again. Not a track in sight, but he just tears through the town. We get a fantastic scene that I really laughed at. Maybe my biggest laugh of the episode. Bart and Milhouse are in his room using an X-Acto knife to cut swear words out of the Bible and glue sticking them up on his bulletin board. Just like, we can say these because they're in the Bible. God, that's funny.
Yeah. It's like... hell, damn,
ass, whore, and then
like Leviticus.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. Marge is worried about Homer, but he said, hey, I'm a fucking midnight tow truck driver now, so you might not see me for a few days. And then we get some good Western music kicking up as Maggie hops on the dog and is off to find Homer.
Yeah. I think they're even, it's a particular Western music too.
Is it?
I just can't.
I kind of figured
it
might be, but I didn't. Yeah. I didn't bother looking. But it's old cowboy spaghetti Western music. I like the visuals of Maggie riding around on the dog, and they should do that more often. Yeah.
I enjoyed this whole part of the episode.
Yeah, me too. It's maybe my favorite part of the whole episode.
Yeah.
Is Maggie saving the day here. She rides off on the dog. They go to Guidopolis. They find him. They break him out.
Yeah.
And then they get back home, and Marge is like, I'm so glad you're safe. And then kind of like looks at Maggie like, oh, I'm glad you were able to help. I don't need you anymore. And she has this sack of potatoes that she's put a bow on.
Yeah.
She's tied a bow onto the top of the sack of potatoes, and Maggie punches the sack of potatoes.
I like that too. Yeah.
And then her and Marge are hugging and pally-wally again.
Yeah.
So that was a fun episode. Not like a 5-star or anything, but certainly better than the last one.
Like an unfunnier version or less funny version of Mr. Plow.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Compared to the last one, definitely.
Yeah, I liked all of the Italian stereotype sight gags and all that earlier on was pretty fun. All of the Maggie cowboy stuff is pretty fun.
Yeah. Now the more I think about it, right away I was like, fuck, this is 2 duds in a row, but this is definitely a step above the last one.
Oh, for sure.
We're up to episode number 4. I don't want to know why the cage bird sings. After missing far too many of the kids' big events, because that's a reoccurring theme on this show.
Yeah.
Homer missing shit. Homer makes sure to be there for Lisa's Student of the Millennium Award
in 2007.
Yep. Like, we get this weird Lisa thing that she does when she's like nervous or like kind of like, I don't know, and because in this it's just like, oh, they just gave the award out, but it is for me, and she does like this weird snort thing when she's like nervous.
Oh yeah,
and. So Homer's like, God damn it, I'm going to make it. So he gets there absurdly and brings Maggie.
Yeah, and is 2 hours early.
Yeah, like in an empty auditorium. And I must have missed, why did he bring Maggie? Is that ever...
I think he didn't mean to.
Just, yeah.
Like, he ties her around his neck.
Yeah,
like,
that's
because he's like still half asleep and thinks she's his tie.
So he is, you know what though? By God, he had a goal to make sure he was there, and he is there. Then we get the bullies. This is a bit of a hard cut here, but I have to remember to mention it. We get the bullies looking at the school paper, and there's an ad, the school paper is always full of ads, like
we didn't have a school paper, so I'll just believe you.
There's an ad for Willie, for Willie. Just
not a product,
just like congrats,
just Willie.
Congrats, Lisa, because that was always a thing. Or you'd see it in the county newspaper.
Sure.
Congrats, stars on a great season from
your friends
Burleson's, bulk oil service.
Jacob Zeller's farm insurance. Yep.
And the one when the bullies go, sure, he'll buy you beer, but he'll make you drink it with him.
Yeah.
And that is a thing.
That's fucking funny.
There were those weirdo dudes that I don't know if it's either a paranoia thing or a loneliness thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, man, your cousin will buy us beer. I don't want to hang out in your fucking great aunt's house with him drinking beer tonight.
That is a stereotype also among drug dealers. They make fun of that in Pineapple Express.
Hang out
I can go out and I can go over to his place and he'll sell me some fucking mushrooms, but then I'm going to have to sit around and listen to his dumb fucking poetry. Or
he's going to show me all these YouTube clips that he thinks are indispensable.
Shit like that, but I was never the one bringing the alcohol to wherever drinking was done. So I personally never had a buyer.
Interesting, really.
It was always like somebody else is going to pick up a box of beer, and I'll pay. I'll chip in.
I took pride in I was never until later in high school. I was never one that had a easy slam dunk. I didn't have an older brother.
Sure. You didn't have a sure thing.
Yeah. I had a million maybes, and I had a system. You want to make an episode of 24 about teenage life? It's doing that countdown that you got to get beer bought by a certain time, because you get too late, they're doing shit. They're at the bar. They don't want to leave the bar to buy booze for children. And there was okay, this guy's awesome, but if he's free, this next guy's awesome. This next guy, oh fuck. It's getting bad. This guy is a criminal. He will keep any money we will give him. Like, there's one guy, you learn that. Don't give him 50 because he's keeping it all. So make sure you can't give him exact change or he'll literally shove it up your ass.
Right.
You want a case of Bud Light? Give him $25. He gets he gets a little pocket change.
Send him home with $5.
Yep,
yeah.
right.
Yep.
There was another guy that was just too nice to say no. We don't like to take advantage of it, but sometimes, in a pinch, his thing was, I'm going to take one beer out of it, and you're going to buy me jerky and smokes, which fucking fair trade. When you're 16, every day you'll take that offer. Yeah, so I like the idea of fucking teenagers drinking with Willie in his little fucking shack that he lives in.
Just so he'll buy them beer.
Yeah. So the other thing that's going on, Marge is in line at the bank because she's got errands to run before she goes to Lisa's award ceremony. And it gets robbed by kind of like a gay couple. It's taken right off the script of Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh, is it?
Al Pacino,
Okay.
Al Pacino 70s movie.
Oh, okay.
Very good. Definitely worth seeing. There's a fucking good gag where it's Al Pacino's character getting fucking face planted by those goddamn dye packs. It just keeps happening. Everything's got a dye pack in it, and he's just getting wrecked. So he's in a very bad mood, and he's very unstable.
That man is Dwight, voiced pretty obviously by Steve Buscemi.
Oh, yep, good call.
Even looks like Steve Buscemi.
And he's frantic because the police have him surrounded. Like, what's he going to do? Is he going to shoot his way out? Is he going to shoot the hostages? Who knows?
After, by the way, his partner, the long-haired one, fucking guns down Gil on his first day as bank security guard.
Big day for Gil.
My first day walks in and just gets riddled with bullets.
Poor Gil.
Poor Gil. Back from Arizona, apparently.
Yep. Starting a new job. It's a real dicey situation, and Marge kind of tries to calm things down by promising the main bank robber that she'll visit him if he gives himself up. Because at that point, he hadn't killed anyone yet.
Yep.
So it's like, you can bounce back from this. I promise I'll visit you. And for some reason, that fucking works.
Yeah. And he gives himself up.
He's lonely.
There's a real dumb bit, and like the whole time I was like, this is dumb, but I also kind of snickered at it a little. The police, of course, are incompetent. And Wiggum is like, okay, we'll figure out what we're supposed to do. He has a DVD of The Negotiator with Sam Jackson. And he's going through, which chapter should we skip to? And he reads every one of them. There's like 14 chapters. And that made me laugh because it's like, yeah, why do we name chapters on DVD select
you're
menus?
Right. Yep, it's a thing, though.
And it's never like, yo, it's this part of the movie. It's always something clever, like a book does.
I don't think I've ever used the chapter selection on a DVD before.
I want to say neither have I, but I bet I have. I've been like, oh, I just want to see this kung fu fight in Iron Monkey.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck about the first 40 minutes. I want to get to this fight or this shootout, you know?
That has to be why it exists.
Yeah, I bet I've done that. It's probably not frequently, but I bet I've done that. That's something that's gone away now that we're all just streaming shit.
What's
Menus that? And chapter selects.
Yeah.
And commentaries. I miss DVD commentaries.
My brother, they're still making them DVDs.
I'm not going back to physical media.
Hold it.
Not a fucking chance.
In your hand.
Nope.
Open it up.
Nope.
Look at the silvery disc.
I've moved on, Nathan.
Someone told me that during COVID. I don't know why. Maybe it's because so many of the streaming services are splintering, where it's not becoming as cost effective.
Yeah.
That we're seeing a slight comeback in physical media.
I can see it, honestly, now that everything is, when there were 3 streaming services, it was one thing, but now that there's 800, I can see it.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to do? You're going to sign up for Tongue Box just because they have one movie you want to see?
Yeah.
No. You can go to a used DVD store and get it for a nickel.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. I hope it never fully goes away. I like the idea of still be able to buy a movie and hold it in your hands.
Burn it all down. Get rid of it all.
I like things.
I know you do.
Stack it up. So Marge, again, has promised the bank robber she'll visit him, but she breaks her promise. She kind of, her intentions are good at times, but she's nervous.
She just keeps avoiding it.
And she keeps finding reasons not, as we all do with unpleasant tasks.
Lisa, come look. I replaced all the filament in these light bulbs.
Oh, my God.
Your dad, the millionaire, thought we should throw them away. That was very funny.
That was a good one.
There is my favorite joke of the whole episode in this stretch, by the way. When Dwight tries to call her from prison, and she's like freaking out, throws the phone down the garbage disposal even, and then he finally gives up, hangs up the phone in prison, and it rings immediately. So he grabs it and he's like, Marge, and it's Ted Nugent encouraging you to vote yes on Prop whatever to keep crossbows in our schools.
Yep. That was very good.
By the way, voiced by Ted Nugent.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it sounded like him.
That was crazy Uncle Ted. Holy shit, that was funny.
And eventually, Dwight escapes from jail, kind of in the Shawshank Redemption.
Yep, crawls out the poop tube.
Up the poop tube. And I did like that he looks over, and there's a spring water tube.
Pure mountain spring water right next to it. Yeah, that was funny.
So we kind of get a mix of Shawshank and Cape Fear here. Because it has
I've never seen Cape Fear.
Yeah. Well, you will remember we got a lot of Cape Fear in, now it's been a decade ago, the episode where Sideshow Bob first breaks up.
Yeah.
Where he's riding underneath the car. Hey, let's take a look at the cactus place. And stepping on the rakes.
I remember I think that episode is even called like Cape Fear or something.
Yep.
There's a pun in there.
A pun in the Simpsons title?
Right? Never. I know. What am I talking about?
We get a random-ass Itchy and Scratchy that features Itchy on trial for using steroids in baseball.
A great Itchy and Scratchy.
This must have been right around the time that like those documents were released and all those guys, and they were calling guys in front of Congress and shit.
Had to have been, yeah.
Like Rafael Palmeiro, I did not use performance enhancement, and he was busted for it like a week later.
Yeah,
it's so great.
Was Piazza in on that round of it, or would he come later?
Been later, yeah.
Or not Piazza? Who am I thinking of? Who's the real office rocker one? Canseco.
Canseco, yeah. Well, Canseco never really got it though, because he admitted to it all.
Oh, sure.
Because he was retired. He was used steroids all the time. Well, he's the guy that busted. He broke the story open.
Yeah, that's right.
Wild that fucking Jose Canseco pushed the domino.
Yeah.
This kind of had a half-life of celebrity because of how much he's on social media. Like he loves to chirp.
Yeah, Jose Canseco is a real mouth runner for sure.
Dude is still big.
Yeah.
Just noticed that. I just saw him on thing like. Because he's probably still on steroids. It's like, how are you that big? Would you probably, if he ain't 50, he's fucking close.
You want to get big into steroids?
Why not?
You and I?
Should we?
Let's do it.
Oh, that'd be fucking great.
You and I just get fucking Mr. Universe yoked.
Yeah, looking like fucking Scott Norton.
Scott Steiner, maybe. That's what I'm going for.
I think we're going to get that cut, brother.
I want veins, baby.
Yeah, man. Well, we can
give me those striations.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
I want the bicep on top of the bicep look like Scott Steiner had.
You and I, with hard work and decent dedication, could be built like Scott Norton. Scott, you're right. Scott Norton's an attainable goal.
Yeah. I mean, he was like an Olympic level heavy lifter, though. So
right, but to be built like him, you and I could cast the same silhouette if we just got our shit together.
I could do it with a girdle. Right. The shadow.
Really cinch you up, buy you fucking some thigh corsets and really get them sunk in.
This guy's a real bondage freak. Now I want to look like Scott Norton in a shadow. That's weirder somehow.
Oh, these whale bones are digging into my hammies.
You lacing me up in a Flying J bathroom.
Oh, shit. Oh. Phew. How many corsets do you think we got to tie together to get a corset that'll go around your middle?
Daisy chaining corsets around my midsection. This ain't doing anything for my self-esteem.
I'm back there with a foot in your back, just pulling on the places.
You got ratchet straps because you got to make another run to the corset store. Like, I don't want to stop the work we've done. So.
Somebody's got to bring me another come along. There's no way.
You've got one end hooked to the corset, one to like this to the post on the door of the bathroom stall. You don't move until I get back here.
You're turning red, starting to black out.
Yeah.
You breathe. Worth it. Beauty is pain.
We get a lot of good sight gags of the robber, Dwight
Yep.
stalking Marge until he does finally kidnap her. And they throughout this episode, especially in the second, they really make fun of Steve Buscemi's bug eyes.
Yeah.
Which he seems to be okay with because he's doing the voice of the character.
Guess, but still, mean-spirited.
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi seems like the nicest guy.
And they end up going to an amusement park where at Marge's urging, because originally it's like he didn't have a mommy, so this is his chance to bond with mommy.
And she abandoned him at that amusement park when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Boy, what a way to get left by your parent.
Right? So yeah, we're going on all sorts of rides, and Marge realizes, this guy is completely fucking off his tits. And things get out ahead. The cops are somehow they know that they're told what's happening, or maybe they just notice.
Yeah, they're just there and notice.
Just having a little fun afternoon with the boys, And we get I don't even know what ride it is, but they're on side-by-side rides.
The Viking boats.
That's what it is. The swinging, the big
pendulums,
Yep. And Wiggum, doing what Wiggum does, fucks up. Mm-hmm. And he is in a lot of trouble. And Marge convinces Dwight to save him, even though that means his own ass is getting, which he does. Dwight.
By throwing himself in the gears of the machine.
Yeah, no shit.
Jesus.
Yeah. And somehow survives. And then, does she promise again to see him? Or what's the... We
kind of just fade up to her visiting him in prison.
Yeah.
And they're having a nice time, and Homer is recruited by the skinheads.
That's what it is. Yeah. And then put a bow on it.
My favorite blink and you miss it joke is when they first get to the carnival. As we've learned in The Simpsons, anything in writing is gonna be good. When they first get to that amusement park, the very first ride they go walking past is oh shit, I lost it in my notes. There it is. Dilbert's Flying Cubicle.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just this huge spinning thing with Dilbert's face and then bored-looking people in swinging cubicles. I have, never caught a Dilbert reference in fucking 19 seasons of this show.
Which, why was I not me, comic strip references?
I'm shocked you missed it. Yeah. Boy, talk about different fucking mindsets or maybe different ages. I think of Dilbert and I think of that TV series, that short-lived television series.
Yep. So my mom must have just I was high school age, and my mom got me for Christmas, did not ask, a big Dilbert collection, and I really enjoyed it because I don't even think that was in the newspaper yet back home.
Okay.
And I'm this is pretty funny. Huh. Yeah, to this day, if I got a newspaper in hand and it's in the funnies, looking at the funnies, I'm reading Dilbert pretty quick.
I'm gonna read it because I recognize it. Yeah. I've pretty recently held the funnies and didn't recognize probably half of it. So, but I recognize Dilbert.
Getting the newspaper, if I was not such a trash goblin and lived above ground, I'd probably get the paper. I like getting the paper.
Yeah, of course you would.
Yeah, holding it. I like doing the Sudoku. I like looking at the funnies. Oh man, the LA Times crossword puzzle, that's a treat.
Yeah, that's
right there.
Stuff.
That's worth the 50 cents a day or whatever the hell.
What are you doing?
Costs. Yeah.
Get yourself a paper.
They don't. I would need to punch a hole in the side of the basement. The newspaper boy that's a scary looking hole.
I bet you can read it online.
Yeah. Oh, you can? I have done crossword puzzles online. It's sick. You feel like, what am I doing? What have I become? I'm in the Matrix now.
Episode number 5. It is that time of year, Nathan. It is time for the Treehouse of Horror, number 18. Ooh. We get kind of a throwback. We get Marge doing the intro. Yeah. I liked this. Her doing the intro of, hey, it's that time of year again, and we're doing the treehouse. And then kind of a return to form of some violence. It's fucking Fox, so they're popping up all the watch this show, watch that show. And Marge fucking murders all of them.
Yeah, microwaves the guy from House.
She throws House into a fucking microwave and he explodes. She like gasses with bug spray a bunch of football players advertising the NFL on Fox, and then bakes them all into a meatloaf.
Oh yeah.
And we get her like slicing up the meatloaf, and they're bones and blood and heads. I was like, okay, Simpsons, let's do it.
Yeah. If only the rest of this episode could have been that good.
Yeah, it was a strong start.
Mm-hmm. We'll leave it at that for now.
Yeah, and I don't think the worst episode of the batch, but not my favorite.
Yeah, it's one of the for me. It's one of the weaker tree houses we've had.
We get number 1. You know the tale. There's 3 stories. Mm-hmm. Number 1 is E.T. Go Home. I do not like E.T.
Oh, I was single digits the last time I saw it.
Or I also don't like most child-centric films of that era.
Yep, and it's, from what I've been told, the first movie I ever went to in the theater.
Oh, really?
I was so young. I think my mom talks about like, oh, this has been such a nice moment. You take him to this first movie, mother, son. And I was sleeping like deep child REM sleeping 5 minutes in because I was 2.5.
I think the first movie I ever saw in a theater in Mott, North Dakota, back when they still had a movie theater. I don't know if they still do, but I doubt it. I saw it was, boy, now I'm questioning myself on whether or not I'm misremembering. I'm pretty positive it was The Land Before Time.
Oh.
But if it wasn't that, it was The Little Mermaid.
So Little Mermaid would have been like 90 or 91.
Maybe it was Little Mermaid then.
That was the kind of movie that would have made it to Mott.
Sure.
I don't think Land Before Time.
So was Land Before Time. That was a big, those Bluth films were fucking big at the time.
Yeah. It's funny. In 1988, I would have been prime going to a cartoon in the theater, but I remember I was a Land Before Time kid or a Five Goes West or American Tail. Jesus Christ, did I fall off a bike today? But yeah, Land Before Time. I don't even remember that crossing my radar as a kid.
Man, that was a good movie.
I remember there being a cartoon dinosaur movie, but not being super excited about it or anything.
They made like 11 of those. All the rest straight to video. But
oh, no kidding.
Man, that first one's fucking good. So is an American Tail, by the way. Good. Man, there's a Fievel right there on that shelf.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Five Goes West is the better movie.
I think. Still feel just barely in my deep recess of being a little, because I saw very few cartoons in the movie theater because that wasn't a big thing when I was a kid.
Sure.
I can remember the excitement of like, oh man, what's good, like just like childlike glee. Oh no, hey, oh, what's gonna happen to Fievel? Oh, the ship's sinking. Oh,
I hope Fievel's gonna be okay.
Hey.
Oh God, please save the Moskowitz family. What are they gonna do? That one can sure sing. I remember like because you don't get a lot of an American Tail references in pop culture, but there's an episode of South Park where, do you remember this? Fuck, man, I don't know how the passage of time works. This might have been 10 fucking years ago when they grew a human ear on the back of that mouse in a lab somewhere.
10 years ago.
They do an episode of South Park where they grow a dick on the back of a mouse and it's running, it gets out and escapes and it's flopping all over. It's super funny. there's a bit in that episode that is one of the only pop culture references to An American Tail that I've ever seen. It's running across a fence and the moon is in the background, and it stops silhouette, and it stops and sings Somewhere Out There from American Tail. And I remember, like, I bet I flipped the coffee table. I bet I was like, fucking yeah, American Tail, woo! Just crushing beer cans against my head.
Alone.
Cat goes running in the other room. I adore An American Tail and Fievel Goes West. So this is E.T. Go Home. Bart has to head out to the butane shed so that Marge can put the crust on her creme brulee. And Kodos, known Simpsons alien Kodos, is in the shed. We get that scene of them throwing the baseball back and forth. A lot of this didn't do anything for me because I don't like that movie. Kodos is clearly here to destroy all humanity, but he's pretending he's not, but like just barely pretending. There's some fun dialogue in there. There's a scene where Kodos is in the shower, and I like that he has a little windshield wiper on the front of his glass helmet that he wears. And then Homer's like, "Who, Marge, you want some company?" And Homer gets in there, and Kodos is rubbing his shoulders. He's like, "Oh, how about a neck rub?" And he rubs his neck with his tentacles. He's like, "How about the neck of my butt?" And I'm not even quite sure what that means.
Little ass neck.
Is that taint? Is that lower back?
And then when he says, "Oh, someone's taking the highway to the danger zone,"
yeah, that
so
was funny.
good. Probably the only big laugh I got in this whole episode, but it was a good one.
So Homer, alarmed that he's showering with Kodos, we get the government showing up. They're going to take Kodos apart, and there's a good bit that I liked of Kodos sitting on the front of the bicycle while Bart's pedaling, and Bart's like, "God, how much do you weigh?" He's like barely able to pedal because Kodos is enormous. Kodos this whole time had been like, "Oh, I want to build a phone and call home," like barely putting any effort into lying to the boy. But it turns out that he has a portal and that humanity's going to be decimated. And he opens the portal and they come fucking marching out of there to, I think, some Fantasia music.
Yep.
Is that the brooms or the mops?
Has to be, yep.
I've never seen that whole movie. I've only seen the mops bit. Yep. And they come marching through the portal and get just fucking murdered by America's army, I guess.
Yep.
There's a moment where Bart hops on the turret and he's aiming at Kodos, and then Kodos is kind of begging him off, and Bart has this hesitation of like, "Oh, that's my alien friend," and Homer just pushes him aside and guns down Kodos. There's
he says
alien
something too.
Splatter going against the turret shield. Yeah, I forget what he says, but so guns down Kodos, and then they cut to in the science lab. They're gonna dissect Kodos, and Kodos sits up. He's like, "Actually, I'm alive, so this is vivisection," which is a great word. Vivisect, good word. And Homer just puts a fucking pillow over his face and smothers Kodos to death.
Just tells him to go to sleep.
It was a dark ending.
Yeah,
He just puts that pillow on Kodos. The next one is Mr. and Mrs. Simpson. And I have not seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith in a very long time, but I remember really liking it.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, like they're both hitmen, but neither of them know that they're hitmen. And it's just like this ultra A-type power couple who is super fucking hot for each other. Like there's real kind of some animalistic sexuality in it. That it's a good fucking movie and some decent shootout scenes.
Yeah,
you should watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
I was not a fan of this short here. I'll get that on the record, but I did think the shoot 'em up scenes in this little short was good.
This is easily my favorite short of this episode.
Oh, I didn't like it out of principle.
Like by a mile. Why?
This, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, not a horror movie.
True.
Not even fucking close.
But I thought the same thing. As soon as that title card came up, I was like, that's not a horror movie. Yeah. But The Simpsons are able to turn it into a violent thing.
Yeah.
Like, and violence does not equal horror. Yeah. I'll give you that. But like, I was like, okay, this is just because of the violence, this is closer than that fucking superhero one or the Harry Potter one that they
those
did.
Suck too.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So I'll give you that. A little off the mark as far as thematic, but I thought a pretty good short in and of itself. Homer and Marge are at couples therapy talking about their troubles. Burns... so we find out that Homer is a hitman and that Burns wants him to kill Brockman.
Oh, yeah.
So Homer has a sniper rifle and climbs up a tower across the street from the Springfield Tuxedo Owners Celebrate Kent Brockman event, which I thought was very funny. Yeah. That's a good joke. Homer's all set up. He's got a mustache and a sniper rifle, and he's about to take the shot when a mysterious blonde woman sticks fucking Brockman in the gut with a fucking knife. And we, the audience, know right away. Like, oh, it's Marge.
Yeah.
So she fucking kills Brockman. Homer starts going off fucking trying to shoot her, but murders a ton of people in the meantime. Yeah. And... Marge turns around and fucking hucks a throwing star in the middle of Homer's forehead, which was such a good joke. That would suck
so hard. God.
He like starts to talk and then his sentence just falls apart into dribble until he pulls the throwing star out of his head. You ever huck a throwing star? They're kind of weighty.
Yep.
They got like some heft to them.
Yeah. Boy, if you have a son and he starts getting into throwing stars, it might be a phase, but it might also be he's
you might have to throw
animals.
The whole kid away.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, you have more kids. You're young. Yeah, that could be a trouble sign. Not always, but it can be.
What would you rather your son bring home? A set of throwing stars or a butterfly knife?
Oh God, they're both the same kind of kid.
You can buy them at the same table at the gun show.
God. I think butterfly knife leans more, but they both have tendencies. Butterfly knife leans more to juvenile delinquency. Throwing stars more school shooter, but they can both be either, man. The kid that's doing fucking kick flips and swinging around a goddamn butterfly knife.
That's a skateboard move.
Yeah, and fucking... That kid can also be a school shooter. This is coming from a kid who owned a butterfly knife. So I ain't just fucking, I'm not just talking about the butterfly knife for teens club. I'm a member.
You're talking to a grown adult who has a butterfly knife in the kitchen right now. In the cup where the pens are.
They're fun.
They're fun. Yeah. You know what I do with it? I open letters with
it. Mine's real wobbly. I could stand to get a new butterfly.
Oh, you got a cheap ass butterfly
knife. I should ask my mom for a butterfly knife for Christmas.
Yes, you should. You got a fucking gas station butterfly knife. You need a fucking real boy.
I traded a Clint Black CD, I believe, or a Steve Earle CD for that butterfly knife.
I think you came out ahead.
Yeah. Still have it to this day, I guess.
So Homer gets that throwing star stuck in his head. He eventually goes home. He knows it's Marge, and Marge knows it's him, but they're kind of pretending that neither of them know.
Yeah,
and
waiting to get the drop on the other.
Yeah, there's this tension as they try to spring the trap on the other, which is straight out of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And so kind of is the rest of this episode, where they have this huge shoot 'em up between the two of them. There is a fun bit where Marge has clearly poisoned the lasagna, and Homer's brain is like, don't eat it, but the camera pans down and he's already eating it. Yeah. And it pans back up and his brain is like, okay, you've already eaten some, but don't finish it. And the camera pans down and it's gone. Yeah. And pans, okay, you already finished it, but don't. And he goes, seconds, please. Like, I like a lot of the Homer arguing with his brain bits that we get in this show. Yeah. And I thought that was a good one of those.
God, lasagna's good.
Man,
and I like a trash Stouffer's lasagna.
You know who makes a really good lasagna? Marlon Wells of America's Barley Basket. I make a lasagna that'll change your life.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
This is some kind of weird hair you got up your ass, or is that the family tradition?
Like my mom made lasagna occasionally and it was good, but like I have a lasagna recipe that I've dialed in over the years.
You got like the cottage cheesy type cheese in it. What's
risotto?
That? Yeah, I'm a fan of that.
Or ricotta.
Ricotta. There you go.
Yeah, a little of that. I'm a sausage and mushrooms person in my lasagna.
Yep.
Extra super fucking chunky ass sauce. Odds are I threw in some extra diced tomatoes into the sauce. Like,
that sounds tasty. That's a treat.
Lasagna is a fucking treat. I always make way too much and end up having to share it with people.
Bring it to bed.
Yeah.
It's got the casserole dish beside you. Just slopping it in your mouth with your hands.
Oh, God.
Fuck it up. Fuck it up.
Oh, so decadent. Oh, it's a lot of ricotta.
Oh, the sauce all over my body. Hope I have the mattress cover on. These sheets are simply ruined.
Oh, we're gonna have my shit tomorrow. Oh, God. Fucking lasagna is lasagna is god tier food.
Yeah, you're a building's maintenance man coming in to fix the washer while you're in bed with a goddamn lasagna tin. Sleep, pillow talking with it. It's so tasty. So beautiful.
Laying flat on my back with a full lasagna laying on my belly. Just like, just sleep talking to the lasagna. Got a fistful of it in one hand.
Like 6 empty lasagna tins in your living room. Some boy sure likes pasta.
Got us a real Garfield boy living in 104. Yeah. Oh man, I love lasagna so much. So they eventually break the tension. They have this big shoot 'em up in the house. Marge dual wielding fucking pistols and Homer shooting back. I loved the visual of Homer sliding down the banister of the stairs with that fucking minigun.
Yeah, just gonna say,
just saws the house in half. God, that was funny.
Has destroyed that house. Yeah,
they just cut a huge swath out of the wall, the door. Wiggum shows up.
Poor Wiggum.
In order to like, hey, we got some noise complaints. I like that when he opens the door. The door's been cut in half by that minigun, so he just opens the bottom half and ducks under the top half. I thought these were fantastic visual gags. Marge murders Wiggum with a crossbow pretty immediately. And I think this is also straight out of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, all of the gunplay has fucking built up the sexual tension so much.
From what I know of that movie, that adds up.
Yeah, and they hump on top of Wiggum's corpse.
Using Wiggum as like a fucking bed/pillow was a good...
I mean, he's soft.
Yeah, he's soft boy.
You know? He's like one of them triangular, like, fuck pillows.
Mm-hmm, yeah, the wedge.
Yeah, exactly. Wedge. He's like the wedge.
Those sweat stains ain't washing out. Oh, man. Think of what a dumpster wedge smells like when you finally chuck it. Jesus.
Remind me, I got to fucking put some garbage bags on that wedge next time.
You see your neighbors? Oh, is that like a seafood boil? They're boiling the wedge. Got a big fucking 55-gallon drum of tap water boiling in the backyard. They put the wedge in a garbage bag, tie it up, and poke it down. No, honey, we got to rip that bag open. We can steam clean the wedge. Don't you remember Super Bowl night? I said you shouldn't eat so much queso. It's just all, and your deck is like 6 feet away. They're just casually talking about this.
Take this wedge to the dry cleaner. Yeah. We got a lot of chili con queso and love moist on this thing.
Honey, it's a 3-piece. Get the other 2. We already have a fuck kettle boiling. Oh, hey, Marlon. You doing anything for the 4th?
I'm not. Tell me more about this fuck wedge.
Oh God! Driving by like a nice suburban house, and there's a clothesline, and there's 3 different wedge fuck pillows hanging and waving in the breeze.
Just 18 clothespins on each because they're kind of heavy for a fucking clothesline.
Yeah. I bought a wedge pillow once.
Did you really?
You get what you pay for. You don't want to go cheap.
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel that way about most sex products.
They take a licking, but they don't keep on ticking. Some are single use. They're single use.
Oh, you don't want that.
It's like a fucking breath mint. It's just
Nobody wants.
Once you rip the foil, it's over.
Nobody wants a single use sex item. No one's shopping for disposable sex toys.
Oh. Not everything on Wish turns to gold.
What are you doing? You deserve that shopping on Wish.
It probably wasn't Wish. It was probably Amazon. It was American Wish. It was Amazon.
Order a fuck wedge on fucking Wish, and they send you a door stopper. There you go, fucker.
Sometimes with like shit on Wish, it's like, this is probably gonna suck, but it might be funny, and it's 45 cents.
Oh fuck! It wasn't Wish, but I just recently ordered a product. And I knew looking at the site, it was a targeted ad on Instagram, and I was like, that's cool, I want one. But by the time I got to their website and was filling out ordering information, I was like, this is for sure an overseas site. And it was an article of clothing, it was a hoodie, and it said on there, Asian sizes, order one bigger than what you require. I was like, okay. So I did. I ordered a size bigger than I am.
Men's medium is probably what it came to be.
First off, it took 8 weeks to get here. It was like ordering fucking Columbia House music again. And yes, it is at least 6 sizes too small. It is like, comical.
Like insultingly little.
It is the right product, to be fair.
Okay.
It is what I ordered, and according to the tag, it is the size I ordered. But that is not what that size means. Like, I understand now, like, how women get mad about, like, jean sizes or dress sizes
differ by brand
of like, I'm a 3 in this size and a 14 in this other brand. Like, I get it.
I once bought a pair of shoes off Wish for like $8. Shoes shouldn't cost it. I was like, look,
they should.
Again, it might be fun. And I wore them to one comedy show, and I got a compliment about them.
Oh yeah.
You literally though, after one wear, like the next day, I could have held that shoe by the sole, shook it vigorously, and it would have just disintegrated. I'd have just been holding a sole. Like a shoe, you could easily rip in half, and that is not even an exaggeration. like buy a pair of Walmart shoes. Say what you will, you ain't gonna rip it in half,
right?
You know, like,
I want a shoe to have a little more structural integrity than a gas station ham and Swiss sandwich.
There were 11 stitches holding that shoe together. It was a poorly constructed house of cards.
Ugh.
And that's what I did, because like a whole seam broke in the shoe. I just ripped it in half because that's funny to rip a shoe in half.
That is funny.
Like,
yeah, you should have taped it. That's content, baby.
Yeah, right?
You can't be wasting this kind
I'm
of
ripping
thing, Nathan.
shoes in half.
We have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I could be doing this for America instead of my own sick amusement.
And then we cut back to them doing their couples therapy, but it turns out they're at Skinner's office. He's like, okay, well, thanks for telling me all that, but I just brought you here because Bart was tardy again or whatever he says, and they shoot him.
Yep.
Yeah, that was fun.
I think you liked that one more than me, but maybe I was just being salty because it's not horror, but
I get, and I do get the complaint. Like, I thought the same thing during Harry Potter or that superhero one, so I get it. But I thought they injected enough good violence into it that it fit well enough.
Yeah, they did go hard for violence, so.
The last one of the group is Heck House. The kids are out trick-or-treating, and they trick-or-treat at Skinner's mom's, and she doesn't give them any treats, so they're like, well, we're gonna fuck with her then. And they huck water balloons at old lady Skinner. It's Milhouse, Bart,
Lisa.
Nelson, and Lisa. Yep. And so, but now they're on as Lisa put it, a slippery slope. Now they're just causing terror around the town. Lisa's not super into it.
Like not even giving them the chance for treats.
Yeah,
they're right to the trick.
Yeah, you gotta at least give them a chance. Mm-hmm. So the kids are out on a tear. Fucking Nelson clubs Hans Molman in the face with a bat when he answers the door.
That's just assault or attempted murder.
Jesus,
that's attempted murder.
Yeah. You try that kid as an adult.
Yep. They're gonna fucking give Nelson the chair, depending where Springfield is.
You think? I bet Springfield's a chair town.
Seems like it.
We know Springfield's a chair town because there's that one episode.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're gonna electrocute that fella.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. These kids destroy this town. Mm-hmm. We see a shot of the street and it's just demolished. Everything's on fire.
Yeah.
And they drop the pig from the movie on Homer. It was cool to see the pig from the movie.
Yeah.
It was a dumb gag that he had his head stuck up his ass and was crawling around, but I was like, that's from the movie.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, we drew the pig. We may as well use it.
Yep. And when it's running with Homer still up its ass, that's good.
Yeah. The town's like, we gotta do something about these kids. In steps Ned Flanders.
Yeah, like from the shadows.
Yeah, like steps out from under the tree, just like, I'll get him. What his plan is to set up a haunted house in the church called Heck House. And he's trying to like scare them straight with these little stage productions, but it's super lame. Mm-hmm. And the kids, it's not working.
Yawn fest.
Yeah. And then Flanders turns into the devil.
He prays
to God
to help scare these kids.
Yeah, help me. How does he put it? Help me psychologically damage these children into believing in you, or whatever it is. So Flanders transforms into the devil and takes the kids to hell, and he shows them punishing all the citizens getting punished by the 7 deadly sins. I like that Mo is like 3 of them, just Mo.
And like some of it's like there's a name for the artist that made that artwork of those insane images of hell. These like giant heads and like rivers of poison where like there's like things coming out of the mouth perpetually and shit.
Yeah, we see like a far off, like a pulled back shot of Simpson hell.
Yeah.
And yes, there is an artist like that is definitely a take on
from like the 1300s
something.
Or something like that. Yeah.
And the kids swear off sinning, and then Flanders wraps up the episode.
Yeah,
like it's pretty.
Couple of
mild,
decent visuals, but
I really liked the art of hell, and I like seeing Devil Flanders. Like, I think I had seen like images, maybe in memes of Devil Flanders, so it was cool to see it, and I did like the art of hell as a whole. But that Flanders is like, okay, that was our Halloween special, everybody. Reno's or whatever he says, and that's the end of the episode. Wrapped it up.
Definitely gotta be a top 3 worst Treehouse.
It was not super strong.
We've been on a run where they're at least competent. Like they're solid, if not spectacular.
Again, I have such fucking trouble remembering shit, but I feel like last season's was pretty good.
Really? Yeah. I was thinking last was okay. The Harry Potter one was weak.
Yeah.
Remember that whole batch being weak?
Yeah, it was. I thought there was enough here for it to not be the worst thing I've ever seen, and I genuinely liked the Mr. and Mrs. Simpson one. But outside of that,
yep.
I don't give a fuck about an E.T., and outside of some cool art, that last one didn't do much for me. So
not that they're often that funny, but they're just a real lack of laughs.
Yes.
And none of those stories really grab me.
How about this next one? How grabbed were you by this one?
Are you referring to episode 6, Marlon?
I am.
Little Orphan Millie?
That's the one.
Oh, my goodness. Well, let me tell you about Little Orphan Millie.
I think you should.
Starts with the Simpsons and Van Houtens doing like a co-op picnic.
Having a little picnic.
Yeah. I was so psyched. I was like, God damn it, tell me we're going to get a lot of Milhouse. And boy, do we. The Van Houtens, because it's already been in previous episodes, if not seasons, that they're back together. They're mending fences.
Kind of dancing around it, yeah.
And it's announced that they are going to get remarried.
Hell yeah.
So that's Milhouse is jazzed. Everyone's pretty psyched about it. And then the other, pretty early on, the B story comes out. It's Marge gets real mad at Homer for not knowing her eye color.
Yeah.
Which
I thought this was dumb.
And part of me was like, yeah, that seems like fuck up on Homer. But you know, I'm so fucking colorblind, dude. If a woman asked me, it's like, I could look at your eyes and I'd probably, unless it's just like a brown or a bright blue, what's a fucking guess? Could be gray, could be light blue, could be hazel, could be green. Fuck, who can tell?
Mine are an extremely beautiful blue.
Are they really?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, if you were to tell me that, I mean, I would take
colorblind are you? I'm sitting right here, dog.
From here, I can't tell. Your eyes look black. You look demonic. I can't wait till you wake up in a hotel room and I'm fucking 6 inches above you, peeling an eye open.
Straddling me, you got one leg on either side.
I need to check.
Just looking.
Holy shit. What a thing to wake up to. I see your beautiful eyes.
You straddling me all hunched over, prying an eyelid open. Yeah. I just have to know.
Go back to sleep, my pet.
I thought this B story was dumb because I think that's a dumb thing for her to be mad about.
Yeah.
And the Simpsons' eyes are white.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And that comes up later. It's lame. I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
You can kind of post this onto, you can apply this same logic to like a lot of couple fights where I'm like, what a fucking dumb thing for you to be mad about.
If that's your line in the sand? That's what you're going to fucking potentially ruin a relationship over?
Yeah. And like, I'm not someone who like fights or argues. Something's got to be pretty fucking hot for me to want to fight about it. Yeah. Like, what a dumb fucking thing to be mad about.
What are the Van Houtens? Can you think of their names off the top of your head?
Kirk and Luann.
Good pull. They get married. They do a outdoor wedding, which I haven't been a part of many outdoor weddings, just a couple.
I've been a part of a couple, yeah.
And they announced that they're going to go on a big honeymoon. They're going to go on a big cruise, which for a couple that age, perfect honeymoon.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like a cruise is exactly what I would expect the Van Houtens to want to do.
Mid-40s couple that's remarrying. Cruises up your alley.
You got any desire to go on a cruise?
Almost just to see what it's like. I don't think I'd like it all that much, but I don't know. I've heard people say you take the right cruise, you'll have a good time.
I think there's a couple of themed cruises that I wouldn't hate.
There's a couple like music cruises that would be rad.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a friend who every year went to the 70,000 tons of metal, which is a fucking not like mainstream, but like fucking corpse paint, black metal fucking cruise. Yeah,
like sounds like you're doing like an elbow armpit fart when the lyrics come up.
Exactly. Yep. Just sounds like you shoved a fucking human hand into the garbage disposal. And that's not my kind of thing, but I like that exists.
I think there's comedy cruises that have huge names.
Oh, for sure.
There's wrestling cruises.
I was about to say Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea, which is a horrible name, but like I would go to that.
There's like a super fucking indie alt country cruise now, which I would love. It's my kind of music, but like what a weird but hey, they knew who their target audience is. It's the kind of people that they don't want to stand for 17 hours at Coachella. They want to be able to go back to their fucking cabin on a cruise ship.
At the same time, I have a hard time. I don't like to be in places that I can't just leave if I want to.
Why the military never appealed to you?
Yes, that is the one and only reason. I don't like that feeling. Like I get that anxiety buildup even on an airplane. Like, if I badly wanted to, I couldn't leave.
Oh.
And even though I have no intention of wanting to leave, knowing that I can't raises issues with me.
I bought the ticket. I want to be here, but
I have a place to go.
Planes are so sedate that I think that, but I know the anxiety you speak of, but a plane is, everyone's pretty, I mean, chill ain't the right word, but people aren't fucking German suplexing each other in the aisle. People are sitting down.
Yeah.
Just, okay, buckle in.
But it's that feeling of if I wanted to leave, I couldn't.
Yeah.
And I don't want to leave, but if I did, I can't,
I mean, technically.
Like if I go to a concert and suddenly feel the need that I have to get out of here, I can.
Yeah. Which there's that would bug me more at a giant concert more than an airplane would. Seeing like the giant like European and South American festivals where there's 200,000 people watching the same show. I think about that. Like, fuck me, I wouldn't want to
get to your car.
Yeah. Or for me, it's like, what if I don't want to be up front anymore?
Yeah.
I wonder if you're for the closing of like, think of the big British. There's a couple humongous British festivals. Like
Our British listeners are yelling at their
like
phones
Isle
right
of
now.
Wight is a big one, I think.
Okay.
And like, you look at when the headliner's up there, and it's just a sea of people. It's like, let's say if you're front row, like, you know what? I've had enough.
I'm going to go get a snow cone.
I've had enough Pearl Jam. It's the song one. You know what? We're good. I bet the fucking set is over by the time you push through that crowd of people. Like, you know what you do? You bail over the wall.
Hop over the thing and get escorted away.
Escorted away. Yep. That's what you do. Yep. So yeah, I get what you're feeling, but I got another thing I got to run by you because this is not my life. It's quickly announced that Milhouse is just going to stay with the Simpsons during all this, and it's something. What is it? Don't worry, Milhouse. I packed you a bunch of. Is it mommy meals?
Mommy meals.
And he's all excited, and Marge is kind of pissed. Like, how come people always do that when they stay over at my house? And she says something. Is it because I put pineapple in my potato salad? Like, sorry, I don't play by all the rules or something. Yeah. That is a combination that can't be real, right?
Pineapple and potato salad?
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to assume not, but putting shit in stuff where it doesn't belong is absolutely a thing.
I've seen your Google search. Yes. That is your... Some would say that web history is felonious.
You can accomplish a lot with a quality fuck wedge.
The craftsmanship of the fuck wedge is crucial.
I like to think,
putting stuff where it doesn't belong.
I like to think fuck wedge is the name brand of that product. I have never
butt
had
ramp.
I have never had it because I'm not going to eat any potato salad, but potato salad with raisins in it is for sure
that is a thing. You're
yeah.
fucking right. Maybe, I mean, I don't know if anyone around here is going to go for it, but it is. If raisins are on the table, why wouldn't pineapple? You're not a potato salad man at all?
I don't like potato salad. No.
Yeah.
Potatoes aren't supposed to be cold.
Yep. And I think it's probably been discussed, but every time I mention that, every fucking summer, I'm in my 40s now. It's acted like it's a new thing that I've made this. I'm like a teen that went goth. Oh, what? You don't? I've never ate potato salad.
Never had a scoop
every
of
time. Hey, you gotta try your grandma's. Whose do you think I've been eating?
Right.
It's like we only eat grandma's.
Listen, Mima, I've never once liked your potato salad.
You know, the personal. I don't like the product. There's nothing you could do to make me want to eat cold square potatoes.
Like it's one of those things. I like everything in there. Mm-hmm. I like mayonnaise. Well, I don't really care for mayonnaise.
I like mayonnaise. But I like mustard.
It's fine. Dijon and onions and potatoes. I love all these things. There's something about the texture of a cold potato that really I can't get behind.
Yep. I wish. What if it's like if potato salad's like craft beer? You just got to keep delving into it and eventually develop a palate for it.
Maybe it's like wine. Yeah. Maybe there's enough variants, but I haven't found the one I like.
Yeah.
You know?
For every family, there's a different potato salad.
Oh, yeah. And there's like creamy mayonnaise-y white potato salad. There's vinegary, clear potato salad. There's like a million different potato salads. I'm not going to love it, but I can tolerate a noodle salad, like a macaroni salad.
See, I don't like that either. Yeah.
If I can skip it, I will. But I will have a spoonful to spare your feelings, where if that is potato salad, I will not.
Okay.
I will look you dead in your eyes and tell you I don't want your potato salad.
I'm the person at a picnic that's eating a fucking half-gallon of baked beans and 4 hot dogs.
Hell yes. I am right there with you. Yeah. I'm eating a lot of chips at the barbecue.
Right? There's so many weird salads I just can't get into. I wish I did. You guys seem to be having the time of your life.
Yeah. I have had macaroni salads that I would eat again.
There are Midwestern men that have orgasmed to 2 different things: their spouse and potato salad. Oh, good. Oh, Han, you gotta find out who made this. Oh, God. Oh, my Lee jeans.
Pulla, get the fuck wedge out from under the bed. I'm taking this potato salad into the bedroom.
Grabbing the drum. Yeah. It's all good. Oh. And you realize, Han, you're gonna have to put it in me. I want to get airtight with potato salad. I'll handle the front end. That's a sign that you got a rock solid marriage. If your 49-year-old wife, oh, fuck, if this is what he wants, he's a good man. You fucking help me raise these kids. He doesn't ask for much. I can at least
get these kids out of school.
Fucking
just gotta get them
gas siphon some fucking potato salad up his ass. Holy shit. Her calmly going to the garage and looking for the siphoning tube that's the right size to handle those potato chunks.
Oh, we're gonna need a bigger funnel than that.
Yeah, this will work. Okay. Yeah.
Don't soil that fuck wedge. It's hard to clean.
So Milhouse is with the Simpsons. How much fun is that when you're that age? Your best friend comes to live with you for like a couple
hell
weeks.
yeah. I've never once had that.
There's hijinks abound. There's a good thing they find a hole in the yard. It's like, that's like an animal hole. What do we do? One way to find out, just put a hose down it, and then spiders shoot up and then perfectly underneath the blanket that Lisa and her friends have laid out. Like, I'm having a tea party or something. And there's fucking tarantulas, dude. Oh no, tarantulas. And then like, she's like, I'll save you as a baby burps a lot.
Baby burps a lot, yeah.
The baby starts burping out spiders. And Lisa, oh no, spider burps. Like that whole scene might be the most I laughed during these 5 episodes. So.
That was extremely funny. Yeah. There's a joke just before this where Bart and Milhouse have like put up the tent in the living room, having a little fake camp out, fucking sleepover good times. And Milhouse is like, oh, when the days are so good, I just am excited to wake up. And he drifts off to sleep, and there's a thought bubble of you see his dream, and it's him just like in a chair, kicking his feet, excited while a countdown to wake up.
Like an 8-hour countdown,
counts down. And the idea that that's what Milhouse dreams about is so fucking funny to me.
That was very good.
As he like dream self just bounces in that chair. Oh God. I laughed really hard at that. At both that bit and the spider bit.
Do you think like I almost was like, why don't they have at least 1 or 2 Milhouse centric episodes per season? But maybe that would water it down. Maybe you enjoy it because there's so few of them, but God, they're good.
I don't know what the perfect number of Milhouse episodes is, but it is higher than we're currently getting. Mm-hmm. Like I don't have the number nailed down, but it is more than current.
I wouldn't mind seeing them go too far the other direction for a few seasons.
Yeah,
like there's plenty of other characters I've gotten enough of. I haven't got close to enough Milhouse yet.
We haven't dialed it in. We haven't dialed in what I think.
You're right. We're still below
the Milhouse content should be.
So cut to the cruise ship. They're having a nice time. They're very wasted. They're walking down. They're trying to get to their whatever it's called in a boat. Your quarters.
There you go.
And it's like, it's like, and they're trying to get into their room. And Mr. Van Houten's like, nah, this isn't going to be like last time. This time I'm going to carry you across the thread. Like, I love the idea of her carrying him the first time they got married. But then the ship tilts in a way, or lists, I think is the name.
Look at you
for a boat. And they start backpedaling, and they just keep backpedaling. They go through like the fucking dining hall area and like the ballroom, and they fucking flop off the end of the boat. And then
man, you fall off a cruise ship, you're gonna fuck yourself up.
That
is like, cruise ships are tall.
Yep. And you have to hope you don't hit something on the way down. And you better land the right way. I think if you land the right way, you're okay. But yeah, that's a fucking drop.
I can't swim. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like
if you land back or chest, it's gonna hurt. We would have to have some kind of scientist to know if it's a hurt or if it's like crushed ribs, but yeah.
If it's a hurt or an injury.
Yep. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
To use football parlance.
Yeah. but like they are off the book. And I think this is around the time the movie Open Water was a thing. That adds up.
Oh, I forgot about Open Water.
To the point that I was surprised there wasn't scenes of those two in the water together alone.
I never saw that movie.
Oh, good.
Is that movie good?
Based off a true story, which makes it even more
terrifying.
Fucking terrifying.
I'm going to use this as a moment to plug a different podcast, and you turned me on to this. The episode from a few months ago of the last podcast on the left that does the story of the USS Indianapolis, which is the thing that what's his name talks about in Jaws.
Yeah, Captain Quint. Yeah, dropped the bomb.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
What a literal living hell.
Yeah.
The shipwreck survivors of the USS Indianapolis lived through.
1,500 shipmates floating in a endless puddle of diesel fuel and blood and puke and shit.
I don't even want to give people our secondhand interpretation. Go download that episode.
It's so
of
gnarly.
The last podcast on the
so
left.
Endlessly gnarly.
Fucking A, that thing.
I want to go back to Open Water. That should be on your list of October movies for next year.
Oh, really?
Yep. It's that good.
I'll put it on right now.
It's quick and easy. Not a long movie.
Okay.
You burn through it quick.
Did you ever see, this is tangential, did you ever see what I thought of as Open Water but winter, and it's the one where the guy is stuck on the ski lift?
Yeah, I did see that.
Is that good? I think that's called Frozen, now that I think about it.
It's the one I saw, it's more than one person. I can't remember if it's two guys
a couple
and a girl.
people, but it's ski lift.
Yep. It's worth watching.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for movies like that, but I'd put it under Open Water, like a level below that, but it's worth seeing.
I'm adding Open Water to my list of next October's Halloween movies right now. You want to hear my list so far?
I do.
It is Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, as we discussed earlier. A movie from the late 80s called The Keep.
Oh, I've seen the cover of it.
Okay. 30 Days of Night, which I've always heard is better than it has any right being, but I've never seen.
You've never seen?
No, never seen.
I fucking love it.
Never saw the movie, never read the comics.
Love the comics, and I enjoyed the movie.
The Mist, with, what's his name? The Punisher.
A flawed movie, but worth seeing. My favorite, possibly, Stephen King short story.
Okay. I think I have seen parts of The Mist on, network TV, but never as a whole. And now Open Water.
There we go. That's the beginnings of something there.
Yeah, there's something there.
Yep.
But yes, I will watch Open Water. And
you're going to fucking squirm because of someone that doesn't like water. It does the water terror. The things
God, you're probably right. That's probably going to fuck me up bad.
The things you wouldn't think of, like my fucking calves won't quit cramping. Or fucking convincing the other person, you can't drink this water. I know you're going crazy, but you can't drink. This is poison water.
I mean, me in that movie, I just die.
Yeah.
That's a 4-second movie if I'm in it.
It's a short.
Yeah, exactly. The trailer is the movie.
It's the movie. It's the short they show before the movie Up begins.
Hey man, the first 10 minutes of Up equally uplifting.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Fuck. Me and my buddy, we lived together at the time. We were like, let's watch this new Pixar movie. We were drinking some beers. Okay. Fired up, and when it was a new release. And after the first 10 minutes of Up, my buddy reaches over and pauses it and looks at me. He's just like, Jesus Christ, Pixar, what are we doing here? And went and made himself a drink. Switched from beer to a drink to a cocktail.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the kids that are watching, they're just fucking fighting with their siblings. Meanwhile, the parents are crying in the theater.
They're just waiting for the dog and the chubby kid to be, hey, Pixar.
They're fucking throwing popcorn in the air.
I'm fucking devastated. Yeah. I'm welling up just like, what are we doing, Pixar? Remember the Toy Stories? Yeah. Bring back Buzz.
Yeah. I don't mind a little sentimental sadness at the end.
Then those fucking movies turned into tearjerkers later on. 3 and 4 are rough.
Interesting. I don't know if I ever saw past 2.
Oh, man.
Oh. And I like, too, that, is it the Navy comes to let?
Navy or Coast Guard. It's never like specified, but it's the scene from Saving Private Ryan when they're driving up the fucking road, and they even muted the colors. They made it like not quite black and white, but they muted it into grays. Like I thought that was a great scene.
Yep. So they're there to let Milhouse know. I don't know if they tell him that his parents are dead, but it's like, well,
they say they're lost at sea. Yeah. They don't tell him that they're dead.
Yeah. There's like a gag of kind of like, well, I think they inadvertently let him know that the odds aren't good.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and there's a scene with Homer where trying to make Milhouse feel better, says, hey, we'll move your bedtime an hour later so you have more time to be alone with your thoughts.
So good.
Jesus Christ, Homer. God, that was funny.
So, right away, Milhouse is a wreck, as he should be.
Yeah.
Absolutely should be. And then it kind of morphs into him being more just like a kind of a jaded, despondent loner. Like he's just nothing. The world sucks.
He becomes like dark and brooding.
James Dean. He becomes James Dean. Like,
but cool.
Yeah, because like Bart is like, hey, everyone, my friends went through a real traumatic thing. If you could like just please be nice to him. And then like it turns out it's like, and there's right away Nelson tries to bully him. And he's just like, punch me. I'd love to be able to feel something again, which is a hell of a thing for a 10-year-old to say. Like,
Nelson's fucking bully line is the coldest joke I've ever heard on this show. He goes, your mom called. She said, glub, glub. Jesus Christ, Nelson. What's the matter with you?
Days after it happened, too.
Holy shit. Yeah. Like, we laugh about bullies, but that is some fucking diesel bullying. Yeah.
And Nelson doesn't know how to handle this because he's like, oh, I've never dealt with a kid like this before. And then he and everyone else starts to swoon over brooding.
Especially Lisa.
Loves brooding Milhouse.
Yeah.
Like even the guys, I think I can fix him. That's uttered at one time. And during this time too, like, it's awesome how quickly Bart becomes just a needy bitch, you know?
Like so desperate.
So quickly.
He needs it so bad.
When like all the kids watch Milhouse get off the bus and they're all just fawning over him. And fucking Bart, hey, everybody look, I have my backpack on backwards on the front. Isn't that crazy? And they're just staring at him and Blake, and he's just so pathetic. He's like, look at me, I'm crumping. Because like crumping, is crumping a thing?
Yeah, crumping.
Is it really? That term is real?
Style. Yep, that's a real thing.
No shit.
Yep.
And when he comes home and he's sad, and Marge, I love that lame Marge.
Holy shit.
I'll crump with you.
But what's funny is, like, yes, it's lame that she's like, oh, I'll crump with you, honey.
Yep.
She kills it.
Yeah, very good at it.
She is A+ crumping.
Yeah. So when was crumping a thing?
Oh, fuck, man. I don't know.
Like, what type of music would one crump to?
Hip-hop.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's hip-hop dancing.
Usually I can at least recognize the term. I might not know what it means, but this is around the time in my life where I realized, the world is passing me by. All the time I didn't know what modern pop music was, what kids were into. Yep.
My mind had long since forgotten the word crumping until this episode. Like, it slammed into me like a truck. I was like, oh shit, crumping.
Yeah.
Jesus. 2007, you weren't on the top of your fucking hip-hop lingo?
I was probably actually listening to more hip-hop than ever, but it was a fucking Immortal Technique and not the shit they were playing on Top 40 radio.
Immortal Technique?
Yep. I got really big into him towards the end of LimeWire.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh, what a time to be alive.
2007, I was deep in a fucking G-Unit hole. I was the world's biggest 50 Cent fan in 2007.
Never got on that, but I was also just a little too old, maybe. Like, well, not really, but like...
I was for sure still bumping St. Valentine's Day Massacre, which was like fucking 3 years old at that point.
So Bart, of course, because, he needs to be the popular kid. He has to figure out a way to... I don't know, deal with the Milhouse issue, I guess would be a way to put it. And he reaches out and starts calling around, and he finds Milhouse's long-lost uncle, Norbert.
Yep.
Which is Norbert Van Houten is an awesome name.
Yeah.
And I like how we find out there's like a rivalry between the Dutch.
Dutch and the Danes.
The Danes, yeah. They neither of them think highly of the other.
The Danes in their time, back in like the 800s, were a fucking feared-ass Viking race.
Do you think to this day, in my head, you could have told me the Dutch and the Danes are one and the same. I would have believed it. But Danes are Denmark, Dutch is the Netherlands. Am I right there?
I believe so, yeah.
So, yeah.
The Danes are Denmark, obviously.
Never would have guessed that they were not the same. You know, I would have guessed it's like, just like a German and an Austrian. I don't know if there's a whole lot of difference, you know, like looks-wise or like culturally, you know, like.
I wonder how our European listeners take these discussions.
Which I've given 4 minutes of thought to. I just know Austria gets pretty chummy with Germany whenever there's a world war. Like, they don't even have to be prodded. Like they're like, you don't. Hey, we're gonna play 2-on-2. They're already at the gym. You know, they're hey, let's see. I know this guy's a baller.
Like, I don't want to alarm you, but our download numbers are pretty decent in Ireland, the UK, Belgium, the Netherlands,
Austria?
and Germany.
Oh yeah.
So
hey man, I'm with it. Fucking Germany's large and in charge, man.
By all means, email us your thoughts on.
Yo, we'd love to hear them.
Nathan's European hot takes.
Yeah. I'll make them spicier.
Yeah, hell
that will help raise our numbers in Europe.
BarleyBasketUSA@gmail.com.
Let us know.
Write in whatever language you like. I know how Google Translate works.
Let us know if we're right or wrong.
I took 2 years of German in high school. I could probably read a German email.
Wouldn't that feel good? To read it cleanly and legibly, like
I bet I could translate a tenth.
Yeah, like I could, if as long as they say a number between 1 and 12, I'm good. Anything else will all be.
If it's not on a clock, I'm fucked.
Or Der Auto, I'm pretty sure is the car. So he reaches out. I think that he goes by Zach. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
And so
which doesn't make any sense, but it's a cool name.
Yeah. And there's like weird Dutch stereotype. Like the plane is just like a flying wooden
biplane. Yeah.
No, the first one.
Oh God, that fucking wooden Dutch plane is so funny.
Spazoid Van Houten.
Oh my God.
And he's like, oh, which one? Have you used Norbert? Because they're all dorks.
Yeah.
And that's when that biplane, Indiana Jones style.
Yeah. Like, this guy is just Indiana Jones.
He has a fucking whip.
Yeah. And a fedora and a leather jacket.
So like, you must be Bart. It's like, are you Norbert? He's like, call me Zach. So he's the infinitely cool uncle. And so Bart kind of lets him know what's going on. I think he's like anything to keep him away from the either Dutch or Dane. Whichever
the Dutch. He's a Dane.
He's a Dane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Norbert's a Dane.
Yeah. So that's his goal. He's got to raise him right. Raise him as a Dane. So that's kind of, he brings him to the school to introduce him to Milhouse. Milhouse is still very sad, very jaded. But eventually he's able to melt through that icy shell.
Which makes Milhouse even more popular, because now everyone's like, "Aw."
Yeah, it has a happy ending.
So Bart's plan backfired.
Yeah. Yeah, more popular than ever, which is that's good writing. Like, that it all blows up in Bart's face. In the B story, Homer eventually remembers Marge's eye color after he recalls a song he wrote about her back in the day. It was like a real jaunty, like rockabilly number.
Yeah.
I'm usually not a fan of the musical numbers. I didn't mind that.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's when we get like a close-up of her eye, and there's a tiny ring of hazel.
Yeah, her iris is just this sliver around her pupil. Yeah. And it's like, that's the joke, I guess. That the Simpsons do have eye colors.
It's just not visible to the naked eye.
Yeah. Also, hazel is a color that throws me a lot. When I'm looking at somebody and they're like, they're hazel, I'm like, are they?
Yeah, what's hazel? Explain to me what hazel is.
Green brown?
Yep.
Is it
brown
tan?
Green? Yep.
Like, I get that you're an unreliable narrator when it comes to color, but...
So Milhouse and Norbert, they're going to leave. He's going to raise them on... Is it in California? A town in California? Is that where he's flying to?
Yeah, they're going to take off to go live in a town in California.
A heavy Dane community somewhere.
In a hot air balloon.
In a hot air balloon, yeah. Apparently the plane wasn't good enough.
Hot air balloon. Well, they crashed it.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hot air balloon seems like a terrifying thing.
Yeah. And I'm not heights don't bug me all that much, but yeah, that's a weird way to fly. All it takes is one of those straps to break. All of a sudden, shit's getting real weird real quick.
I forget which album it's on, but Kurt Braunholer, underrated comedian Kurt Braunholer, has a bit about a hot air balloon that is fantastic. I think it's on Trust Me, but don't quote me on that.
Well, there you go. So try all of his albums. See what you like.
Yeah, Kurt Braunholer's fucking excellent.
I know a few friends that stand by that.
Great comic.
So Bart, in the last seconds, realizes he does not want to be without his best friend, and he climbs up onto the guide. We get a good joke where he's struggling to climb the line, and the gym teacher's like, "See, you see why we have you climb the rope in gym class?"
That was a fun bit.
Yeah. And he's able to scoot up the rope. Bart does. He gets in there like, "Oh, okay, it's going to be the three of us," and they end up crashing on a deserted island. No, I'm wrong. Cut to the Van Houtens and with leaf and coconut outfits. They are alive and well on an island, and they've built a parasail to try to. They think, if the trade winds will take us, we'll make it back to mainland.
Hang glider.
Hang glider. There we go. And they're ready to jump off this cliff just as that goddamn balloon rises up, and they crash into it immediately. And they both fall in a heap at the base of the cliff. So Milhouse finds out his parents aren't dead, and it's the parents, Milhouse, Uncle Norbert, and Bart.
Yeah.
And I think how they write their way out of it is Norbert sent an SOS before they crashed. Does that sound right? He alerts mainland.
Yeah, he says he's got it taken care of, however he says. But he's like, yeah, well, we'll be fine. And then he whoops Kirk's ass.
Oh, because he finds out he's
Dutch. Yeah. He knows he's Dutch, yeah.
Put a bow on it, it's done. Or just something I'm missing.
Nope, that's it.
Yeah.
They wrap up with those two rolling around in the sand, whooping ass.
Yeah. This is probably my favorite of the batch.
Easily.
Yeah.
I think this episode...
Because it's fucking Milhouse. God, Milhouse is good.
I think this episode is not just the best of the batch, but is fucking good.
Yeah.
This is a great episode. There's that moment earlier when they're in the kitchen after Milhouse has found out that his parents are lost at sea and he's so sad. And Homer...
tries to cheer him up.
He's trying to cheer him up, but he keeps naming oceanic things. As soon as he walks in, he's like, "You want some ocean spray cranberry juice? Oops. I mean, how about some chicken of the sea tuna? Whoops. I mean, some Captain Crunch." And just keeps tumbling down this hole. Can't fucking save himself.
It gets to be products you wouldn't offer somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's this, it's a blink and you miss it. One of those Navy men who came and told him that his parents were lost at sea pokes his head up in the window and goes, "Just so you know, we quit searching," and walks away. Holy shit. Oh my God. That was a good episode. I really liked it a lot.
That was fun.
You want to do 5 more next week?
Why not?
Why not? You doing something else?
Right. I'm going to be laying here anyhow.
Right.
Yeah.
Finally, I've been waiting for the one line to cross the other line on the graph. Shout out to Columbus, Ohio, our now #1 most downloaded city in America.
That is remarkable. Columbus, you angels, you have passed North Dakota, which is full of people that are obligated to listen because we've put up with their horse shit our entire lives.
Like, it's fun to see cities that aren't cities we know people in, you know, like Fargo or your hometown or my corner of the state or the cities. We have a lot of friends who live in Minneapolis and St. Paul. It is so much fun to see big spikes out of places we've never been.
Yeah, tell your friends, peer pressure your younger siblings.
Bully your friends into listening to this show.
Yeah, make Columbus insurmountable lead in downloads, where you can comfortably rest upon that.
Take your friend's phone from their hands and go download this this show.
And don't break eye contact. Assert dominance as you do it.
It's going to be real hard to Google search without breaking eye contact.
That's true.
But, okay.
Try. If it doesn't work, you're going to have to. We'll appreciate it.
Whoever it was, don't think I didn't notice that on Christmas Day, someone in Columbus, Ohio downloaded every episode of this show. All 81 episodes.
I mean, good for them. That's a Christmas that didn't go as planned.
Yeah. Or that's somebody who's just like, boy, do I got time to fill between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, I got a week off from work.
Yeah. So in 4 months when you're caught up, you'll hear this message. And thank you.
Yep. I just want to say to you, Shorty, you're my angel.
Oh, look at you. You're my darling.
Yep.
Angel. Tell your friends about this wonderful show. And if you would be so kind, head over to Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star and write a little review. I have been told that writing a little something helps. Like, somehow it pushes you up toward, like, just leaving a review is outstanding, and I love you for it.
And if you
can add a few words, that apparently does a lot. I don't know how this works.
And I like that we now have YouTube listeners. So if you want to put a dumb comment,
I would love whoever is listening to this show on YouTube, because you pitched this idea to me fucking forever ago.
Because I thought people listen to podcasts on YouTube,
which I had never heard of before, and I was like, that's dumb. No. And then like a couple months in, I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I set up a YouTube page for America's Barley Basket.
No traffic.
Which had it was fucking crickets in there for the longest time. And then about 10 weeks ago, all of a sudden, lots of people are listening to this show on YouTube, which I don't understand, but thank you for being here.
If you're listening, just to prove that it's not some weird bot logarithm that's watching these, put, I don't know, Fart Daddy 69 in the comments of any of the videos.
How about just any nice comment about our nice show?
Yeah, that'll work too. But
God, what is wrong with you?
Like Fart Daddy 69, like, hey, that's fun. That'll get people intrigued by the podcast. If that's the only message, it's like, what's going on here?
Oh, Christ.
I mean, do whatever you want.
I mean, just live your life.
I'm planting a seed.
I would love to, like, get a comment or something on YouTube to be like, hey, yeah,
Surf's up.
This is my
fuck wedge for life.
This is my old radio self who just wants that feedback of, like, the beginning of that Petey Pablo song, like, hey, this is Dave from South Memphis. You know, I want to hear Petey Pablo. Yeah, that's like, it's that part of me that craves that type of feedback.
I want the comments to get so weird and so gross they get shut down.
No, why would you hope for that? You hope for that because you don't have to run the YouTube page.
I mean, they don't shut the video down; they just shut the comments down.
I don't. But why would we want that?
Because it's spicy. It gets people talking.
God.
It's how Howard Stern got started.
You are fucking awful.
You want to be the Howard Stern of podcasting?
I do. Worst social media person.
I want to be on a judge on America's Got Talent.
Of course you do.
This is a
find a different way other than sabotaging our podcast's YouTube page.
You're gonna ride my coattails to America's Got Talent glory.
God,
we're gonna be judging fucking hypnotists together. And we're gonna have a great time.
I don't want to be on America's Got Talent.
Once you see how comfy those chairs are, brother.
I have a comfy chair right now.
You're not even
sitting in it.
Not even sitting by one Klum, let alone Heidi Klum. You could be beside Heidi Klum.
I mean, okay.
Within 6 weeks,
now
I have a foolproof plan.
Yeah.
You want to meet Seal, brother? I know the way.
Not really. Yeah. I don't think they're married anymore.
Are they not? Really?
So.
I thought they were one of those rando couples that have stuck it out.
I don't think they've been together for a while now. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Fucking, there are plenty of fucking.
If Heidi and Seal can't make it, what hope do the rest of us have?
Man, that is some amazing DNA getting mushed together.
7 through 11 of season 19.
I'll watch them
next week. So that is the homework. 7 through 11 of season 19 of The Simpsons. You can find us on the internet at Barley Basket USA on your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram. BarleyBasketUSA@gmail.com is the email address. Email us. Send us emails. It doesn't even have to be something important or about the show.
Why not?
Tell us about your day.
Right? Oh, we'd love it.
Day? You got questions?
Yeah.
You got comments?
Yeah, death threats?
How about concerns?
Yeah.
Now, God damn it, you're so bad at this.
I just want something, man. I want proof that there's someone at the other. It's not a bot. Just somehow show us it's not a bot. Please, someone that doesn't know us. Our friends that know us, they're great. They give us feedback. I want to know all of it isn't fake.
Yeah, yep. By all means, get a hold of us. Those are the ways to do it. Quick shout out to Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking into our top 10 most downloaded cities in the last couple months. Very cool.
Feeling it down in her DeLoins.
I love Slipknot, so I am so happy to get Iowa on the map.
The clown cares about our downloads.
People equal shit, Nathan.
Except our listeners.
Except our listeners.
They equal cool people.
Yeah. Big fans of our fans. 7 through 11 of season 19 for next week. I will see you this weekend telling jokes, homie.
Heck yeah, man.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.